Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Daytona 500 live stream. For the second year alone, I'm going to try doing this. Last year, I just did it at the last, I guess was the last stage. This year, we're trying to do the whole race from start to finish. So, at least trying to. Now, it's all dependent on my internet connection on the TV. So, I'm going to give you some guidelines, and I'll explain about the hat in a minute. Even with no sound, I'm gonna try to reset the thing as often as can. I have to mute it for a minute and then let it reboot and try again. Hopefully, we can get a 3 to 4 hours, pretty much with no really interruptions with the Wi-Fi. If there's any issues, I can't restart the whole internet while I'm trying to do a live stream. Well, I'm gonna have to tell you, hey, I gotta come back for a second round. So, but hoping that will not be the case this year. So let's pray that the Wi-Fi holds up for the next 4.5 hours. Um, Second rule is when it comes to the chat, please say hello. Especially if you're watching, if you're doing this because you're watching the 500, let me know who you cheer for. That's what I'm doing the first two chats on. So you guys have a better idea what's going on. So you say hello, who's your favorite driver, or who you going for today. That's why I'm winning the number 9 for Chase Elliott. But second driver I would like to see win today is Bubba Wallace. So if Chase Elliott don't win, I would love to see Bubba Wallace. And I know one or two people just come in and say hello. Don't say hello, that's okay. But I prefer the interaction just because of the timing, all that other stuff. So please, let's keep that in consideration when we do this live stream. So again, they're almost done with pre-race. So what I'm going to do is they just pretty much all the drivers did the introduction. Dennis Leary is going through the whole field right now. Once we get to gentlemen, start your engines. That's when I put the sound on, and then you'll hear the sound. I can't show the race on TV because I don't want to get copyright strikes. So you just understand that that's just part of the game. It ain't nothing personal, but I'm trying to increase my subscription thing too on top of it. So you haven't already, you're new to the channel, hello, say hello, and then subscribe to the channel. We're gonna try to do at least something once a month with some type of sporting thing on top of doing my regular live stream, talk about what I've been through for a month. We're gonna try to do something. Maybe we'll do like a game of the NCAA tournament. We might do the Indy 500. I might do the Indy 500 and Coke 600. I might try to do 2 races in one day. We'll see how my voice holds up and stuff like that. So as the race goes along, say who you're cheering for. Hope make some comments about the race. If you have questions about it, if you're new to NASCAR, I've been watching NASCAR now since 41 years this year. So this we're going on the 42nd season since I started watching NASCAR. Yeah. And yes, I will say for the record, that is my favorite sport. I just love NASCAR. I grew up a Bill Elliott fan, and now I'm a Chase Elliott fan. So you can see why we're the 9. So 9's always been a big part of my racing stuff. So keep that in mind as well. So yeah, they're doing the picks right now. So Jamie McMurray picked Chase Elliott to win. He's at plus 1,200. Clint Boyer picked Ryan Blaney to win. He's at plus 1,200 by DraftKings. I'm waiting to see who Kevin Harvick picked. And like I said, we've been having And he picked Ryan Blaney too. So two Ryan Blaney's and a Chase Elliott. I'm not surprised because it seemed like at least the last few years, somehow, some way, the Fords have always been the best car. Um, at least I they haven't really finished because since the Gen 6, except for 2022, 2023, 2024, and 2025 has been a Chevy. Especially the last two have been William Byron. William Byron's going for something that's never been done in Daytona 500 history. It's won three straight. And I don't know if y'all know this too. I don't know if anybody watched IndyCar, like the biggest races, IndyCar and Stock Car. Nobody's ever won three straight races. Not the Indy 500 or the Daytona 500. So maybe this could be the year finally that trends start to break. So yeah, I look at Bart Simpson. They got Bart Simpson going to be the first. Is going to lead the green flag 800 episode. Everybody else is the first loser on the chalkboard. That's funny. So again, as you're coming in, say hello. Don't be afraid to chat. Say something in the chat. I'm not going to bite. I will interact with you in the chat. Just again, in case you're coming in, I'm waiting for them to say, at least, gentlemen, start your engines. And I'll start the sound from that point on, except the commercials. I'm not going to have the sound on during the commercials. Even if side by side, I'm not going to have that on during the commercials. Only the racing part will have the sound on. So that's, if I didn't mention, that's one of the rules of this. Let's keep the chat interactive. But the more people we get hellos, we get comments, it does help with the analytics, and it does help every time I will do live streams like certain sporting events this year. It does help with the analytics. So y'all helping me out more than you think. And even during the race, we'll have some questions, like trivia questions on top of the one they have on TV. So we'll see how good your Daytona 500 knowledge is. So then, speaking about that, we'll do our first question. I'll give you a layup. Y'all, if anybody knows NASCAR, you should know this. Name the driver who has the most Daytona 500 wins. This one should be a layup. I'm going to tell you right now, y'all if anybody knows NASCAR, should know that answer. Name the race car driver who has the most Daytona 500s. And yes, his car number's in the race. He's not in it, of course, but his car number is a famous car number. Think of famous blue color car. Not Chase Elliott, no. No, the 9 has won 2 Daytona 500s. That's my driver, Bill Elliott. But no. So y'all give you a minute to think about who won the most Daytona 500s. And we'll give you the answer in about a minute or two. Thank you for coming on. I hope you enjoy, seeing and talking about and listening to something that's a big passion for me in sports. I am a man of God, so God's number one in my life. But I would say sports is like definitely top 3 as far as my passions in life. Oh yeah, the answer, by the way, the answer to the question is Richard Petty. Richard Petty has 7. That's no exaggeration. No, that's the truth. He has 7 Daytona 500 wins. He also has 7 Cup championships. Oh, and speaking about that, so that will kind of go to question number 2 really fast. There's one driver in the field today who also has 7 Cup championships, and he is driving today. So name that driver. Once again, the question is: there's one person in the Daytona 500 this year who has 7 Cup championships. Is actually racing in the race today. You can name him. And while you're doing that, I'm gonna go grab me something real fast. I'll be back in a minute. So by the time I get back, y'all should have I'll give you the answer. Be right back. Sorry, but I had to grab something from my roommate. So, or let him know he had something for him. So, but the answer to that trivia question is name the driver today who has 7 Cup championships is in this race. That's Jimmy Johnson. That is correct, Jimmy Johnson. And actually, right now, Michael Waltrip's doing his grid walking. He's talking to him, and probably maybe the future of the Cup Series, Connor Zillage, just 19 years old. So if he will win today, he will be the youngest driver to ever win the Daytona 500. So here's my last trivia question out before the race starts. Who is the youngest driver to ever win the Daytona 500? Now, this question might be a little tricky, but I'll give you a minute to think about that one. Again, who is the youngest driver as of today to win the Daytona 500? No, it's not Richard Petty. No, he was young when he won his first one, but he wasn't that young. No, it's not Jimmy Johnson. He was somewhat young when he won in 2006, but no, it wasn't him. I'll give you those two. It wasn't Dale Earnhardt because he was up there in age. I think he was like mid to late 40s. He's one of the oldest ever to win the 500, but it wasn't him. Oh, we're going to do a couple trivia questions after each stage. So when I mentioned the oldest, that might be a question for the end of the first stage as far as trivia. So keep that in mind. Oh, they got John Gruden at the track. Oh, he's an Austin Dillon fan. Oh, he's with Richard Childress today. It's supposed to start since 1:30, so I guess they're going to start at 2. So now that puts the weather back into play. So I guess the green flag will be like a little after 2 o'clock. So we'll see how it goes. Oh, they got Marshawn Lynch at the race. Oh, yeah. By the way, the answer to the question, who's the youngest driver to ever win the Daytona 500? That's Trevor Bayne. He was just turned 20 when he won his race in 2011. So Connor Zillage wins today. He'll be the youngest person ever to win the Daytona 500 at 19 years. I forgot how many days, but he'll be at least close to half a year younger than Trevor Bayne when he won his 500. So that's a fun little fact. I hope you like those couple fun facts this morning this afternoon before we start the race. Green flag was supposed to be at 1:30. Now I'm hearing it's going to be like a little after 2 o'clock this afternoon. So it's still about an hour earlier than what they are doing. And the reason why they push up the start, in case you're coming in, so why is she doing the live stream now when they're still almost done with pre-race, is because weather is supposed to be coming to Daytona anytime after 5:30, maybe 6 o'clock at night. So pretty much a sunset. So there's a chance they're trying to beat the weather. That's why they're trying to start maybe right around 2:05 p.m. And they got maybe like a 4.5 hour window to try to get the whole race in before the rain comes. So if you're new to NASCAR, there's a rule. Once you get past halfway the advertised distance is 100 laps. If you go one beyond that, the race can't be called after that at 101 and beyond. So probably by the end of stage 2, we're going to be past the halfway point, assuming there's not a lot of cautions. So that weather comes anytime after that race is over. That race is over at that point, and they can't get back to a green flag tonight. Now, they will do everything they can. But anyway, so just keep that in mind. Once they're starting the pre-race now with the invocation. I'm not gonna put the sound for that again. It's gonna be right afterwards. Yeah, she beautiful. Mhm. Oh yeah, she was with Fifth Harmony at one point. And she was awfully young when she was. Yeah, so yeah, they just started the pre-race ceremonies now. We're just waiting for the gentlemen to start your engines and we go from there. So again, hope everybody's having a good Valentine's Day weekend. I hope your weekend was good. I appreciate you guys so much, and again, thank you for enjoying this live stream with me today as we as I do the Daytona 500. So I am looking forward to it. Oh, that must be God Bless America or something like that. Now they're doing the prayer, so now we're actually going to wait for the actual.
Another insert name here.
All right, so we'll just sit here waiting for the. I don't know if he's doing the national anthem, God Bless America, but either way, we'll just waiting for the command to start engines, and I'll put the sound on for the race. So that'll be a few more minutes. So just thank y'all for your patience. Thank you for your understanding. And I'm looking forward to doing this today with y'all. And we'll see what happens. Um, yeah, so sorry for the dead silence. I'm just waiting to get off the next commercial break, and we'll go from there. So I said I apologize for the little bit of delay, but just be patient for a couple more minutes, and I'll do my best to get the sound on, and we will go from there. So it looks like, based on what I'm seeing and hearing, it looks like the green flag will be a shade after 2 p.m. Eastern. So within the next 10 to 15. So again, just be patient. yeah. So I hope you, like I said, I hope y'all enjoying your weekend. I hope y'all enjoying your Valentine's Day weekend. Yes, I wore my red today, but yeah, I'm still cheering for Chase Elliott. That's my number one pick. My backup pick hope it be Bubba Wallace, and go from there. So hopefully one of the two will actually. So yeah, so who y'all looking for? All right, so we're still on commercial break. So people came in the chat. Let me know. Say hello first and foremost, and let me know who you're cheering for today for the 500. Let me know who you're picking. I mean, you got 41 options. Um, so you got 41 good options, and go from there. Yeah. So again, just let me know who you're cheering for the 500. Um, and we'll go from there. Oops, not again. Mhm. I hate when that happens. I don't know if this happens to you when you're on your phone and you're trying to clear something, you hit the wrong button, and it's like it goes somewhere you didn't want to go to on your phone. So I'm the only one that's happened to that like that, but go from there. Yeah, they showed all the past winners of the 500, like the quick highlight clip. All right, so other than keeping track for my NASCAR fantasy league, other than that, they're about to start warming up the engines. Okay, good. So what y'all did over Valentine's Day? Well, I had to work yesterday, and I went to a restaurant to eat yesterday, and I watched Sleepless in Seattle last night. That's all I did for Valentine's Day. Yeah, I know it's cheesy watching Sleep in Seattle. I know it's a chick flick, but I think to me it's the best Valentine's Day movie ever. To me, I'm just saying for me, that's probably the best Valentine's Day movie ever. Is Sleepless in Seattle. Now, if you don't think it's something better, put it in the chat. Let me know what you think. If you think of a better option, yeah, let me know. I'm cool. I will try watching a different movie next year. I have no problem with that. Or maybe next year I'll have a Valentine. So, so that will actually be a good thing for once. But until then, so yeah, I'm just looking forward to great more stuff on the channel. I'm working on something that could be coming by the end of the first quarter next year. I'll give you a quick preview. It's going to be called Stewart Conversations. So I'm going to start interviewing different people like to do good in the community, um, doing good things on social media. Like, I want to show some positivity, especially people that you may not know about, but they do a lot of good things behind the scenes in their local neighborhoods and all over the country, maybe some parts of the world. it's good to see that. I think we need to show more positivity. I'm tired to see all this negative stuff on TV, especially on the news. So it's good to show like more positivity. I hope you all agree with me on that, but that's just I'm just saying. Um, but otherwise, yeah. So that's one of the updates for my channel. 2 weeks from yesterday, that'll be February 28th. God willing, while something doesn't come at the last minute, I'll be doing my monthly Facebook Live for now. And I'm saying for now because I'm doing at least next month and March. But if I don't get the turnout I want to, then I probably won't be doing live streams like that. Other than what I'm doing today for a sporting event here and there. So I just want to make sure this is the year I do things that you guys will like. Doing the Daytona 500. Probably do the Indy 500 this year. Maybe the final game of the NCAA tournament. Like the World Cup finals. I know I have some friends are soccer fans, so that's something I will look into if I decide to go that route. Oh yeah, we got 4 people. Hello, hey, we got up to 5. All right, cool. Y'all say hello. Don't be afraid to say hello. While you at it, actually, I'm gonna try something. Okay, are you excited for the Daytona 500? So this will be a simple yes and no. Yes, no, or maybe. We'll put 3 options. We'll start the poll. And you guys will have votes. So as the race goes along, you can vote. The question is, are you excited for the Daytona 500? You can put yes, no, maybe. And then I will end the poll maybe by the time the end of the first stage, which will be at the last 65. So until then, gives us something to do. I didn't know you can do polls now. I like that. That's good. It's good. Oh, someone gave me a heart. Thank you. All right, so they're saying the wind is between 18 to 30 miles an hour. It's going, let's say, southeast. It's a southeast wind. So that means especially on the back straightaway and especially going off of turn 4, that wind's going to be if it's like the Xfinity race last night, they had some cars go up the corner and some of it was driver error, but they say maybe a little bit because of the wind took some of the air off the nose and caused the spin or get up the corner looser or tighter than they really normally would be. So that's something, because the bulk of this race will be in daylight. I think depending on the cautions, only the last few laps will be all close to under the lights if everything works out as far as timing. So when you see the race today, as the race goes on, pay attention to that. It's just little things like that. Pay attention to those type of things. Pay attention when you hear the sound in a minute or two of the broadcast. Pay attention to what they're saying about the wind, about the big packs of cars creating all that downforce. Pack racing. There's going to be some fuel saving. There'll be some jogging today. If you're new to NASCAR, be like, huh? If you hear something in the podcast that sounds like, what is he saying? What does that mean? I'll do my best to explain it. I know a lot. I do know some stuff on NASCAR, but there'll be some stuff like, I'm not sure about that. I'll just tell you one thing about me. If I know an answer, I'll do my best to give you an answer. If I don't know something, I'm not just going to say bull jive. I'm going to say, hey, I really don't know. Or I might refer you to somebody who might know better than I would. That's all I'm going to say about that. So yeah, as you can see in the chat, I always said hello. and I'm going for Chase Elliott today. That's my pick. That's my number one pick. Now, as far as my backup plan, it's been 2 minutes. No votes yet. Okay, that's fine. Like I said, that poll will be up until at least the first end of the first stage. So there'll be 3 stages. So it looks like it's gonna be 65, 65, and 70 laps out of the 200. They break this in segments because they feel like NASCAR say it would be another way to maybe get more audience to watch it. Because with short attention spans, some people don't feel they have the patience to watch a 3-4 hour race straight without no stage breaks. So it's kind of like having a manufactured cautions. And that's one thing I don't like about it, because the race record of 177 miles out of Buddy Baker's been around since 1980. They have come close a few times pre-stages. But I'll tell you, we didn't have a lot of cautions in one race a couple years ago. That record was almost on the verge of being broken. And it was just on the 2 stage cautions and no other breaks. That 177 mile an hour average speed, that was in jeopardy game night. I can't remember which one I didn't have a lot of cautions in, but I'm just saying that's something. I mean, NASCAR needs to look into it. If not next year, but by next year, but I would say definitely by the next TV contract in 2031, 2032. That is something I think they do need to give us stages. Maybe certain tracks, I can see maybe short tracks, I think would be a good idea, because that's old school, like grassroots type of thing. If you're going to keep the stages, don't do the cautions, especially on stupid speedways like Daytona, Talladega, and now you can say Atlanta, a drafting style track. Do the stages. You're going to keep the stages, fine, but some races should not have cautions. Oh, some of them should. It should be at the discretion. Okay, now they got the cars on track. I'm going to put the sound on. Let me know if you can hear the race.
Well, man, RCR brought some serious muscle down here this time. Put you right on the pole where you want to be. Everybody's in the rearview mirror. How do you keep?
Can y'all hear the sound of the race?
20 years of trying. Can this be the year?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a long race, 500 miles. You got to make sure you do all things right. Strategy, style.
If you can't hear it, let me know, and I'll turn it up a little bit louder if need be.
Not quite the old days where the fastest car can always win the race, so you guys got to play it out and play it right. I'd like to think that, after 21 years of trying, I got all that figured out, but there's only one step, and that's right now. We're figured out.
Well, Kyle, we see a couple different factors today with the wind and the sun. How do you think that's going to affect the track today and the things that you do?
Yeah, I think handling's going to come into question here. I think the heat of the day, sun beat down on the racetrack, and then we all know it kind of clouds over.
So I got no answer yet. For people that's coming in, can y'all hear the sound of the race? Can you hear the sound of the TV of the race? Let me know. Say yes, say no, so I know for sure. It would help, just so I don't have to.
On the front row for the Daytona 500, Kyle Busch, the pole sitter, and Chase Briscoe in a Toyota on the front row for the second year in a row. Row number 2, 2015 Daytona 500 winner, Joey Logano. On his outside, it'll be the number 9, everybody's favorite driver, Chase Elliott.
Row number 3 from High Point, North Carolina, Ryan Blaney and Carson Hocevar. Josh?
Well, Ryan Blaney is one of the biggest stars we have in NASCAR. He's a champion. He's won a Crown Jewel race, but he has yet to win the Daytona 500.
So y'all can hear y'all just please let me know. There's nobody been really chatting yet. Can y'all please just say something in the chat? I want to make sure the chat's working too. So please, y'all, say something, say hello, and let me know if you can hear the volume of the racetrack. That's all I'm asking. Please, it will help me with the analytics, but it's also going to help me to see if I do more live streams like this in the future. I want to make sure everything's working properly.
Row number 5, your 2012 champion Brad Keselowski, that number 6 on his outside. It's a 2021 Daytona 500 winner, Michael McDowell.
And the driver with the best average finish of the 500, John Hunter Nemechek and Christopher Bell.
Shane Van Gisbergen in row number 7, along with Josh Berry. Row number 8, number 7, Daniel Suarez, and another Daytona 500 winner, Ricky Stenhouse.
Row 9, Bakersfield, California, is Casey Mears and Todd Gilliland.
Row 10, Ryan Priest from Connecticut, and Ty Gibbs. Here's a good one. Row number 11, number 48, Alex Bowman, and Denny Hamlin on his outside. Jamie?
Well, Denny Hamlin comes into this Daytona 500 with a heavy heart. We saw in the pre-race everything that he's been through after tragically losing his father in a house fire in late December. Then he said this week coming into Daytona, I'd be lying if I said I was 100% ready and motivated to get back here to racing. But the last couple of days after being back behind the wheel, he feels that focus. He wants that desire. He has it. And he feels like he has the car to get it done to win, of course, Daytona 500 night.
Row number 12, 2020 Cup Rookie of the Year, Cole Custer and Eric Jones.
Row 13, Alex Racing from Las Vegas, Tyler Reddick.
I'm just getting my food ready for later on today. I'm just waiting on a message for somebody. That's why I'm not saying much right now. I just want to make sure y'all can hear the sound of the race and we can go for there in a minute or two, okay?
Row 16, 7-time champion, 50-year-old Jimmy Johnson back for another try. He shares the row with the youngest driver of the field, Connor Zillage. Row number 17 is going to give you Cody Ware and Ty Dillon.
I did say there's gonna be some issues with the Wi-Fi here and there. I gotta cut the sound off, and then I'll have to restart it. So just restart the streaming service. So right now, it just reset itself. But if I had to do it on the race, I had to cut the sound off. That's what I'm doing. So just heads up on that.
Kevin Willie Meyer has rapidly ascended to superstar status in his Cup Series career. And doing that comes into today with back-to-back Daytona 500 victories. That gives him an opportunity to do something that's never been done in the 68 years of the Great American Race, and that is to win 3 straight. But a practice crash on Thursday has relegated him to a backup car. The team feels great about this backup car, though, and they look to make that happen and win 3 in a row today.
And also, starting tailback is another car to backup car. Do not forget about him, Chris Buescher. All right, let's take a closer look at driving with our crew chief, Larry McReynolds.
Yeah, Mike, to win the Daytona 500, you have to have a fast, good-handling race car. Another key to winning is being mistake-free on the racetrack and on pit road, and how you set up.
So y'all let me know in the chat. Please let me know. Y'all can hear the race coverage on my TV. So we can be ready to go. If I have to bump up the volume a little before we start, now will be the time to let me know before we start. Because once we get into it, I really... Oops. And I gotta change the picture on my TV for a minute. Sorry about that. So let me get that done now.
How will this affect the next pit stop for these 2 cars on a 38-lap run? Car 1 is going to be empty. Car 7 is going to have over 4 gallons of fuel left. The time to refuel that pit stop for car 7, it's going to be over 2 seconds faster than car 1. Now, this is huge for track position lead pit road. The bottom line is fuel saving at Daytona is not to go a further distance, it's to shorten up that next pit stop.
Well, and you want to get as much fuel to stay in the tank as possible, but it's not easy. It is really, really difficult to do all those things and keep your track position throughout the race. So a lot to balance from the driver's seat.
All right, getting close to the start of the Daytona 500. It's time for Toyota. Rev up to green.
Toyota Racing is excited to be kicking.
So y'all let me know if you can hear the sound of the race. And I did say, I don't think there's any restrictions on the chat. Now, it is a problem with the chat, and you're not letting you chat. Please let me know. Just little things like that I can't fix on my end. I can fix it on my end if there's an issue. But you have to let me know so I know what time it is. Okay, so I can get those issues resolved. You don't tell me it's an issue, or don't let me know in the comments. I'm just assuming everything's good.
It'll be divided into 3 stages of 65, 65, and 70 laps, with at least 1 pit stop in each stage. 55 miles an hour is the limit on pit road, with a 5-mile-an-hour tolerance, and you'll need fuel at least every 44 laps.
Well, they got the one to go signal, so we're 1 lap away to start the Daytona 500.
Giving away $20,000 in total
So
money during the Daytona 500. Follow @BushBeer on social media and enter by commenting #BushBeer for cash, Bush for cash, #sweepstakes for your chance to win big.
yeah, so hoping y'all enjoying this today. I'm glad y'all decided to come and
I know these drivers are too. It's just
really
difficult to explain to people just what the anticipation level is leading into this race. You're not in a rhythm. You haven't been racing all year. You've got all this hype. You've got all the most sponsors you'll have, the most guests you'll have, and this place is absolutely slammed with people. So a lot of pressure.
Now here's the next gen 2-seat Toyota Camry with Luka Nagua, the Ram star wide receiver, in the speed seat. And newly minted NASCAR Hall of Famer Kurt Busch is doing the honors behind the wheel.
You know he's going to go for a ride, though, Kurt. I'll tell you what,
Might line up behind him.
Can't trust that guy. You know, you're so right. 10,000 fans in this infield. I've been here all week long. We've been blessed with a beautiful week of weather. It has been an awesome show so far.
Today's aerial coverage brought to you by Goodyear. Tried, tested, proven.
yeah, we're about to get the green flag to start the Daytona 500. So first stage segment, whatever you want to call it, depending on what type of racing you follow, it is 65 laps. Fuel window, if you didn't hear it on the TV, is 40 to 44. Sometimes it could be up to 45. So if you put in the middle, that's 42 and a half laps. And they got Bart Simpson waving the green flag. That is cool as heck. Anybody's a Simpsons fan, and you know I love Bart Simpson. Don't lay a finger on my Butterfinger. Yes. That's one of the reasons I like Butterfingers, because of Bart Simpson. So that's a fun fact for you. It's not my favorite candy, though. My favorite candy is Raisinets, though. Especially dark chocolate Raisinets. Don't know why. I've just been a Raisinette fan for years. Y'all hearing this now? The Daytona 500 is on their way. Let y'all listen to this for the first time. I'm going to turn this up a little bit louder. And y'all let me know in the comments if you can hear it.
That's Kyle Busch's radio. He's the pole sitter as Chase Briscoe's Toyota drives the edge ahead on the outside, but without much help from the number 9 of Chase Elliott.
Yeah, and right now they're just filling their cars out. They've gone through turns 1 and 2. This is going to be the tricky section of the racetrack as we go through the day because of the wind. The wind is gusty. It's blowing steady through turns 3 and 4. Keep your eye out for that corner.
And starting to go 3 wide. No surprise, Ricky Stenhouse. He's a risk taker. He's that red car way up on the outside as the field comes by 2 by 2.
Here they go. Haven't seen 3 wide the whole time. There it is, guys.
Well, right now, the pack has more energy than anything that they've done all weekend. You put all these cars together for the first time and throw the green flag here at Daytona. Things are happening a lot faster than what they've done so far.
25 years ago here at Daytona, the very first race on NASCAR on Fox. 2001 on the final lap of the Daytona 500. Right there in turn number 4 was for Dale Earnhardt. had his fatal crash. And ever since, the track and NASCAR, Richard Childress Racing, everyone, with three fingers in the air and a silent salute to the Intimidator, the 1998 Daytona 500 winner.
Yeah, lap free. They're doing a deal on her tribute this lap, a silent lap free, because it's 25 years ago. This in a couple of days since he died at the end of the Daytona 500. 7-time Cup champion, 1998 Daytona 500 winner, 76 career wins, 34 races won a Daytona all different series. Most of all time is not even close to second. I think he's had like 14 or 15 to the next guy who's next closest. Everybody's on their free, so this is the end of lap 3. So all right, now we're on lap 4. Kyle Busch has led the first 3 laps. Average speed around 183, maybe while close to 184. But right now, I think they're doing a little fuel saving. But as the laps go towards the end of the segment, before the pit stop, you're going to see speeds picking up.
Yeah, it becomes really difficult to block both of those lanes when those cars are even like that, because you're almost guessing as to which lane is going to get that push. And right now, on the inside right there, you see John Hunter Nemechek didn't block the bottom lane. He was paying attention to the 2 lanes that had cars.
Hold right up there. I'm going to take this lead. Here we go. He was fast in the duels, ladies and gentlemen. The number 42, John Hunter Nemechek, in the lead. That second-generation driver of everyone in this 500 has the best average finish in this race. And he proved it again Thursday night here. Had a great finish in the duel.
Yeah, he's had a great weekend all around. We saw him contend all night in the truck race, in the duels, and everything that he's been.
So we got one maybe. So thank you for the vote. Like I said, the vote will end. The poll will end at the end of the first segment. So, we have a. I can't say it yet, but we.
Right here, that scenario with all those manufacturers being all over the place, they're mixed up. We haven't found our dancing partners yet. The only ones that I truly see there are like,
oh, we got a crash. No. That's the biggest underdog of the race. BJ McCrown has spun out. And Casey Mears. Oh, no.
I know that totally was definitely something was broke back there for sure, but Casey Mears again with front end damage. Another part-time team that raced its way into the 500.
So 2 of the underdog stories. There's certain cars only race on a part-time basis. They had to qualify their way in by either speed or the 150s on Thursday. One of them legitly do it, and one got in because one guy got disqualified. Yeah, that's sad, man. He just got a sponsor last night because his car was sponsorless.
On the outside. Just going through 3 and 4, up high. Boom. That right rear tire's down, isn't it?
Well, the tire's
no, it's sideways too.
I think that right rear was loose, and what'll happen is that thing will start shifting and rip that wheel in half.
Either the lug nuts off or the totally something in the right rear.
Oh yeah, that could have been a lot worse. That could have been a lot worse. There was two cars got the most damage, and 2-3 others got minor damage. But for Daytona standards, that could have been a lot worse for a crash. So keep that in mind today. I'm going to put another poll up on the second, before the second, stage, talking about the big one now. In case some of y'all new to NASCAR, you don't know what the big one means. The big one means at least 10 or more cars are caught up in one wreck. Now, that doesn't mean all 10 of them cannot continue, but that's the minimum amount of cars, especially on drafting tracks, that you would consider a big wreck. It's 10 or more. So I'm going to ask, it's going to be a simple yes or no. Will we have at least one big one like crash before the end of the race? Statistically, the last decade, we had always has one that is at least 10 or more during the race. So if you're playing by the odds and percentages, the answer will be yes. But This whole week at Daytona, the most amount of cars have been in a crash was in the duels. It was only like 7 to 8. And that's for the Cup stage. Everybody else has been like 2, 3, maybe 4 here. Nothing too out of control. So just to let you know that. So you could take that information how you wish, as far as the big one goes. If you're watching the race, they're doing this Super 6 by DraftKings. You pick 6 different like prop bets during the race. If you get it, you get a chance to win $10,000 in VIP tickets. I don't really gamble, but I'm just saying if you decide to do that. Okay, back to the sound. I'm only not gonna have the sound on doing commercials. Even if it's side by side, there'll be no commercials.
But Byron's involved, and they've got work to do. He hit that outside wall pretty hard. You can see the damage to the body on the right side. That's a product to start in the back of this thing.
Yeah, and when you see that fender kind of buckled right there over that right front tire, that's a pretty solid shot. So it's definitely not going to put him out of the race, but he's going to give them feedback on where his steering wheel is, and that'll give them some idea of what they need to check if his steering wheel is not where it was supposed to be when the race started.
In fact, they're going to check the toe here. Let's take another look at what put us under caution. Obviously, go back to let's see. There's if I can get it. There it is. William Byron back here behind McLeod. McLeod goes around the 40, hits the wall too. Justin Allgaier, he hits it, but you see with that right front, William Byron hit pretty hard, and then you'll see in the back, lower right, with Noah having a lot of trouble with his left rear.
And with Casey Mears.
So, I would say the front damage from Casey Mears.
So 6 to 7 cars now have some piece of this crash, and only 2 of them with severe damage and may or may not be able to continue.
You control all the things that you can control, but in William Byron's case, it's a tough scenario. You saw some smoke right there out of the 78 car, and then boom, around goes that car.
Whatever that was, it blew the tire out.
They're saying on the coverage he might have blew a tire. Oh, no. Oh, he got what a save.
And from the Henry pit box, Jeff Gordon. I hear you, Jeff. That's a tough one.
And there's nothing he could do about it. It's not his fault. It's just
Tyler Reddick, Noah Gregson, as well as William Byron, Justin Allgaier, and BJ McLeod.
so 7 cars got damaged.
This is dangerous right here, Mike. When you have all these cars on pit road doing quick fuel stops like this, some will be at the beginning of pit road, some of them won't. This is a big chance for contact.
The leader stayed out. Kyle Busch. John Hunter Nemechek leads them down. Shane Van Gisbergen most of the field.
All right, so everybody thinks like 2 to 3 seconds of fuel. So you have to time it just right.
Not seeing tire changes, just a splash of gas and go in most cases.
Well, that's the most important thing that you have here today is the fuel in that tank, Mike. It's the thing that's going to put you in a position to win this race, to get on and off pit road just like they are right now. So
yeah, we're having a good time here.
And some pitting.
Some people stayed out, and some people did pit.
First caution of the day in Daytona.
At least 7, 8, 9 cars stayed out.
Hello?
Maybe close to 10.
Mama Bergen 85 lives here? Yep, that's my mom. The absolute legend who went from gaming on her phone to ruthless online streaming slayer with no...
Yeah, so at least 10 to 12 cars stayed out during the caution. So pretty much 3/4 of the rest of the field went in and just did like 2. Only did 7 laps, and six of them was 5.5, 6 of them was on the green. So it was only like 2 to 3 seconds of fuel, just like a quick dash, a little splash and go, and that's it. So right now the standings the updated standings right now is Kyle Busch in the lead. Looks like Ross Chastain is second. Carson Hossler for third. Michael McDowell fourth. Chris Buescher fifth. Cody Ware sixth. Bubba Wallace seventh. Jimmy Johnson eighth. Ricky Stenhouse ninth. And Justin Allgaier, who had a little scrape of the wall, but not enough to really him to freak out yet, is top 10. And my driver, Chase Elliott, because you see, because I'm wearing the hat, I'm checking the update scoring. NASCAR timing and scoring. He is he's not that far down. I don't think he's that far down. Hold on. He's in 20th. So he's in 20th. Well, 9 laps in. So it looks like everybody else, except for maybe 1 or 2 people, is doing this splash and go. I think it's a good idea. Do the opposite of whatever people are doing. Yeah, it might put you near the back of the field right now, but at least you got 1, maybe 2 laps ahead on fuel than everybody else. Now you say, so what's 1 to 2 laps? So that doesn't sound like a lot, but in these type of races, that could make a difference between. Well, not saying win or losing, because we're only 10 laps of we're starting lap 10 of 200, but it does help with strategy because, like I said, if you're just coming in, the field windows between 40 to 45 laps. If you put in the middle, it's 42 and a half. Let's say 43 laps. So if everybody goes between 43 to 45 laps from here, you're between 5 to 7 laps left. And no, actually, no, it'll be 55. So from that point on, you'll owe me about 10 to 12 laps left before the first stage ends. So yeah, and it's on my fuel strategy. Never pass up opportunity to fill up. Now, it might be too early now, but for the rest of the race, and always be pit low, either completely fill or fill enough that you're going to make it the rest of the way. If you're assuming there's going to be no more cautions.
Work on the toe. Make sure that they try to get that as straight as possible. And then there was a little bit of damage repair as well. But this veteran team, well organized by Rudy Fugler. All members returned from last season. It looked very organized down here in the way that they performed it. He did say it's wandering just a little bit as he got back up to speed. Jamie?
Well, Regan on the pace lap. Shane Van Gisbergen came over the radio and said his heel booties, these things were coming undone, and they had to ask NASCAR if they could come down pit road. They took them both off, and he started where he qualified. Now, so often you hear how hot these race cars are, especially along the
Yeah, so that's hilarious. You ever hear that? I don't know if you hear what she's saying. They wear like heel fades on the bottom of the shoe because the floorboard gets so hot because it's near the engine, so it doesn't burn the heels. There's a lot of times people have 2nd and 3rd degree burns after races. It does burn the feet a little bit. Sometimes we'll go through the protective shoe. Now, the technology's got better for its racing gear over the years, but still, every little thing to protect the driver.
All but 1 car has pitted. The pole sitter Kyle Busch decided to stay out, so he has 8 laps or 10 laps now, less fuel than everybody else. Everybody else has been on pit road for at least a splash. Now the radio in Kyle's car, well, it's been busy.
942, that cross one is big time off of 4. It's going from 2 to 4, so that's where your biggest issue is. Just keep that in the back of your mind. Just remind the 42 what lap it is. I had to live 3 times, but not is that. Come on, just know who's in it. That's all. Great car here, doing a great job. Just we worry about us. You're doing fine.
Well,
Yeah,
he's already frustrated, and we've heard that a lot out of Kyle Busch before. And he's speaking of John Hunter.
Oops. Hold on. Okay, we had a little delay, some signals. I apologize. So if it's gonna be like that here and there, I gotta fix it on my end before it really gets out of control. Then I have to start the whole thing all over again. So that's why I turn off the sound. If you hear me turn off the sound as the race goes along, it's only because I'm trying to fix it in a way so y'all can. Okay, it just went back to green. So unless it's still a few seconds behind, okay, we might get a few second delay. So I haven't put back the sound here because I'm still having a little delay of the Wi-Fi. So I apologize, but I am trying to get that resolved as the race goes along. So right now the leader is Joey Logano. So now we can put back the sound. I just got it fixed. So I do apologize if it. We're gonna try to get that resolved as the race goes along. Okay, so hopefully I don't have to turn off the internet and I have to restart the whole cycle. I'm hoping today that doesn't happen. But there have been occasions, especially a big sporting event, I had to turn it off or change the picture a little bit to get the internet to work better. So hopefully when I get my new TV, God willing, by my birthday, that will resolve some of the issues and whatever. Oh, and by the way, since it just went back to normal. But while we're doing that, just give you guys a quick heads up. There is a chance I'm going to be moving somewhere by no later than the end of the first quarter next year. I don't know where exactly yet, but once we get to July, I'm going to start really working on moving to wherever. If that's going to be the future plan to move to another part of either the state or the country, I will keep you guys updated as the year goes along. It's like once every quarter, at the end of each quarter, I do like an update video towards like the last day or two of each quarter, like where I feel how the first quarter went of the year and updates what's going on in my life, channel and otherwise. So towards the end of March, you'll get that channel, that update. And by then, there'll be some stuff, God willing, behind the scenes I have done, God willing, that could make some of those decisions about me moving and other things that are coming in the pipe work. And I'm going to keep you guys updated, of course, including my social media sites. So if you're on LinkedIn, you're on my LinkedIn page, on my Facebook page already, you guys will see the updates as the time goes along. So, oh yeah, John Hunter just took the lead. So this lets you know who's leading. Okay, now back to sound.
Checked and released at the Advent Healthcare Center. He is the only driver out of the race from that left.
And yes, I'm not one of these people like one of these streamers are going to be doing a free 4 or 5 hour stream. If I got to get up and use the bathroom, I'll let you know respectfully. Yes, I'm going to get up and use the bathroom. I'm not going to have sound on for a minute or two. And I'll keep you guys updated what's going on when I get back. You know, if I miss anything or I miss somebody reading while I was gone, yeah, I'll let you know. Trust me. You guys will not be out of the loop. I will promise you that today. And that's one of the reasons I may not have Spectrum much longer. They keep doing this to me. So we'll see how it goes. All right.
He's a nominee to the NASCAR Hall of Fame. With 19 Cup Series wins and a runner-up for the championship.
Yeah, we're still having little technical problems here and there. So for now, I'll just go by the NASCAR scoring system on my phone. So I have an idea. Well, I may have to do this in a minute. I'm not liking the idea, but I may gonna have to do it in a couple minutes. If it keeps acting up to the point that we're having issues with sound, I'm gonna have to restart the whole TV all over again and give it a minute or two, and then let it recycle. So and while I'm doing that too, I can kill another bird with another stone. You know, kill two birds with one stone. Depends what time it closes today. And I did send them an email, so hopefully. Yeah. yeah, we're still having a little technical difficulty, so I do personally apologize for it. Just give me a minute, let it sort out, and then I will put the sound back on in a minute. Okay, sorry about that. Now we got the sound back up. So let's get now we got the internet back fixed. So we can, I got my food order for the next hour and a half. So we'll see how it goes. I might take a little bit of a break to eat my dinner whenever it does come in, and then as soon as I finish eating, which won't take too long, I will do a second part 2 and then go from there. Okay, so just give you guys a heads up. All right, so let's let you guys know that. So I thank you guys for coming on today. We got 2 people sitting there excited for the Daytona 500, but we still don't know other than myself who they're cheering for. So.
Check up front, leading his first ever laps here at the Daytona 500. I talked to his crew chief, Travis Mack, this morning, and he said, I love this guy that I'm seeing down here this week. He's more aggressive. He felt like they were a little too passive, a little too cautious in this race last year. We saw it in the dual race. We saw it in the truck race on Friday night. Very aggressive, leading laps. Car so far, so good. Not saying anything, Regan.
Jamie, rookie sensation, Connor Zilic right now up 15 positions from where he started, just outside the top 15.
Connor Zilic
is the team was worried about as they came into the day was communication.
17.
Crew chief Randall Burdett and his spotter Stephen.
And so far we have 1, 2, 3. Make sure there's no other leaders. We have 3 leaders so far after the first 25 laps. So we're over 10% done of the Daytona 500.
Everybody will save a little fuel. Is that to everyone's advantage? Well, we checked on the 6.
Here's some guys in the back, a bunch of guys in the back are showing good enough to make it. Well, in that case, I'm doing a video to see how Joey wants to get some of that. Can't let those guys make it.
Can't let those guys make it. It's a heads-up call right there, and they're the only ones that can dictate that. When they slow the pace down, it even helps those guys back there saving fuel even more. Meyer back in that big air pocket of a draft. Let's go.
Well, and we saw this.
Yeah, and now they're trying to fuel save to make it the rest of the way with that early caution.
And so the strategy of this race is so.
I'm glad they're not trying to fuel save it. So much I get to the fun.
Lucky that most people can't make it because he's 10 laps off of what everybody else is, and all these guys up in the front, they're burning more fuel. We saw it the other night in the qualifying races.
So hope y'all enjoying the race. Hope you enjoying my live stream. We're trying something new today. I'm not saying it's always going to work out this way, but so now I'm going to have to do it in two parts because somebody messed up my food from earlier today. So now I have to order some food for later on this afternoon. So whenever I get my food order, I'm going to stop the stream. And then when I finish eating, hopefully before the end of the race, I will come back and do round 2 to the end of the race. So I hope you guys understand. I'm sorry for the inconvenience, but, life happens. It's not your fault. So give you guys a heads up. As soon as this segment's done, that poll is going to be done. Now I have one more poll for the second segment, and then that will probably, by the time that happens, that will be probably when my food gets here. So I should be back in time towards the end of stage 3, weather permitting. So thank you all for understanding ahead of time. I didn't want to split this in 2 segments, but things happen is out of my control. So
I'm not fast for a girl.
So yeah, just keep that in mind. I'm sorry, not waiting for to hit the commercial. I don't want to get copyright strike. So I'm not showing the picture because that would definitely give me copyright strike. I mean, some of the commercials might be borderline as it is. So, but it is what it is. So I hope y'all having a good day, enjoying the rest of your Valentine's Day weekend. Thank you for coming on doing this with me, even though if the circumstances were a little bit different today, I probably would have held to say was going to do the whole race, but I can't control certain things going on behind the scenes that's out of my control. So again, I do apologize for that. If that offended somebody, again, I do apologize. That one was not my fault. It was just something that's out of my control. I know a lot of you guys who have watched this show and watched this channel. A lot are very understanding and very patient, and I appreciate that. But some people do not understand that. So for whatever reason, please, it is what it is. So I guess I'm the one that gets a vote today for Chase Elliott. So if anybody else is voting for somebody else, hey. Oh yeah, by the way, too, while you're at it, sometime tonight I will be uploading the next episode of the Rashino Series Story podcast. I'll give you a preview. The title of the episode is going to be Walk the Walk, not just talk the talk. It's about being considerate and keeping your word and having integrity. When you say you're going to do something, do it, type of thing. So I hope you all enjoy that episode. And if you're new to the channel, let me quickly explain what I do for the channel. Mine is more motivational. I try to motivate and encourage people. Yeah, once in a blue moon, we'll have an episode that something's going to be real, like a real important. Like I think within the next month, I'll have an episode talking about my journey from being diagnosed with autism a little bit 11 years ago now. So that's something you'll see on my channel coming up soon. Like I said, if you missed the announcement earlier, hopefully by the end of the first quarter of this year, maybe very beginning of the second quarter, the latest, I will have having steward conversations with different interviews with different people that are doing great things or trying to strive for their greatness in their communities. So that's another thing coming to the channel really soon. And we have some great stuff coming for my birthday month in May, like we did last year. Oh, we got 9 people. Y'all say hello. Please say hello while you're on here and let me know who you're cheering for. So like you say in the comments, I said hello and I'm cheering for Chase Elliott. I'm going for the 9 car. So let me see if anybody else is going for Chase or somebody else. And now they say right now the wind is like around 21 miles an hour. And it's like to the southeast. So that's going to be very interesting. But just give you guys a heads up what's going on. Okay. All right, now back to this sound. To the full. Yeah, so it's 20 to 25 mile winds. They're saying that turn 4 is going to make it very difficult, especially if you got a tight car.
unofficially the windiest Daytona 500 ever.
The thing that I never liked about the wind were the gusts.
And Joey Logano is the leader right now. Chase Elliott's in 9th. One of the other favorites, Bubba Wallace, is 23rd. Jimmy Johnson is 39th. BJ McLeod crashed out, unfortunately. So if y'all will cheer for BJ McLeod for a good underdog story, he got in a crash at last fight. It was not his fault. Something broke on his car. So it's not a lot you could do about it. And the guy is doing the great Biffle tribute on his font. He's in 18th or 19th. And even all the RFK cars right now are doing the great Biffle font. I don't know it'll be all year, but at least for the 500, doing the great Biffle font. And the reason why I say that's important, Great Biffle died a month or two ago, and they're doing tributes to Great Biffle. And we just found out he's a finalist for the NASCAR Hall of Fame. He also going to be this. That's for class of 2027. Yeah, they already did this year, so he's going to be a nominee for next year's class of 2027.
You got to make a decision when these guys get up here and start picking up the pace as to which side of the fence you want to stand on.
Here we go. Chase Briscoe to the top side, the outside pole sitter for this year's 500. The pole sitter last year, driving for Joe Gibbs Racing, 2 Toyota.
They're 3 wide, 5, 6, 7 rows deep of 3 wide racing. So just imagine your interstate that's at least 3 lanes wide, going like 7 rows deep, but they're doing this at about 185 to 190 miles an hour. That's
if you're going to run that fast, you might as well just keep going and protect everything that you have, because that's going to make everybody in the field have to go and put them in your fuel strategy.
I think the rest of the field got on board with that. There was only maybe a select few that could have made it. You know darn well that 8 car in the middle, Kyle Busch wasn't going to be able to make it. But these guys said, "You're right. I hear you, crew chief. We're going to go hard, go wide open. I bet you it's even faster yet this time."
Yeah, and that outside row of Chase Briscoe and Ty Gibbs, along with Joey Logano, I think it caught the 42.
I'm checking my email for something for work tomorrow.
Well, it's all with the 42 leading that front line on the inside. You're only as fast as a car pushing you, so the outside line.
So yeah, my food will be here by 4:15, 4:45. So we'll see in the middle at 4:30. So that might be the start of the final. What you call it? I got some tacos, so it won't take me too long to eat tacos. So you'll probably see me back on here for part 2 at some point during the third segment if everything can work out properly. So again, in case y'all missed the update, I'm just going to keep going with this until my food got here, because I was supposed to eat before the race, but something happened to my food. Then I don't know why it looked spoiled. I don't know. I'm not going to get into details of why.
That's not an on-purpose pit. Got to merge back on. That's Keselowski. Maybe I think he got loose off the floor. Had trouble, Kevin.
Well, we've talked about this temperature today. You talk about the wind.
Yeah, it's the hottest of the weekend, and the wind. This would have been a less grip. Ooh. Kyle Busch got loose.
But Kyle Busch did exactly what you're talking about, Clint. He just got loose right there.
That's that wind factor off the floor that they were all talking about. That's as big as it gets, folks.
That should have been a big wreck. So I'm glad y'all been enjoying this. Seems like we've been getting a decent amount of people. Averaging reach 3 to 5 people for the stream. So I will say this ahead of time. Due to popular demand, we will do another sporting event some point between now and we'll say right after Easter, because we have the NCAA tournament coming up soon. I don't know if there's anything in March before then. So there's a sporting event you want me to try to do a live stream about. I was going to do the Olympics. Because most of my streaming stuff is on streaming apps. So it's kind of, sometimes it can be a little sketchy. So hopefully within the next month, I'll have not necessarily cable, but maybe more of a consistent thing of viewing the TV, viewing channels. Sling is only going to be a 1-month thing. I'm going to try something else next month for like a month or 2 at a reduced price, and then I'll go from there. I'm until that's one of the reasons I want to move is because I'll give me more options as far as TV options, streaming options, maybe even better internet connection. We're still waiting to find out with T-Mobile because I live in a trailer park. Now they're saying they're going to try to have T-Mobile over the trailer park soon. So we'll see how that's going to work out. I heard from another trailer park back in the days who tried to do that. It worked good for like a month or two, then all of a sudden it pretty much went to hell. So, and they keep trying to jack the prices on you. Well, even with Spectrum now, my phone it got jacked up $10 more a month. So the phone is still the same price per month. It's just the plan went up 10. So I know it's basically on the economy and the inflation rate, but still, that's still like, really? Is that how we're gonna do it? So yeah, so hopefully you guys, like I say, hope you guys had a good Valentine's Day. I hope you got something nice. I hope someone showed you love and appreciation. But one thing about Valentine's Day, I'll say this right as well, we're in a commercial break. Valentine's Day, showing people love should not just be a one-day thing. It should be an everyday thing. Showing love and appreciation to people should not just be reserved for like that type of holiday. You don't give me maybe that's the one holiday a year you should really just go out, show out, really go out there for the person you love or people you really care about. But during the year, though, you should still show people love, feel them with love and happiness and all that other stuff. And that's just the way I believe. If y'all believe differently, I ain't mad at y'all. That's just my personal opinion. Well, anyway, they have in Atlanta this Saturday. Oh, yeah, I think that's going to be a doubleheaded Saturday and the race Sunday. That could be very interesting. All right. Now back to the race.
Cover it all on the show. I love it. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, Chase Briscoe leading the pack as things form up here. 3 wide ahead of Logano.
We have 4 leaders so far after 42 laps and 1 caution for 7 cars, and 2 of them were decently damaged and 1 of them is out. We started with 41. We saw. Oh, hello. Hey, finally I get a hello. Who are you cheering for the 500, by the way? Just curious. Who are you cheering for? Oh, yeah, just give you a heads up. Fatality, if you don't really have a subscriber yet, you just got your first subscriber. So congratulations. I just subscribed to your channel, so you got your first subscriber. And that's one thing we need to be doing. Is support each other. Oh, who's leading? Hold on, I can give you 1 second. I can tell you. Oh, it's Chase Briscoe in the 19. My driver, Chase Elliott, is 11th. So I spell his name right. So yeah, I'm glad y'all came. Hello, I'm glad you came on board. Finally, we got some interaction. So yeah, if you haven't already voted already, vote on the poll. The poll will end at the end of the first stage, would be about 21 laps. They're averaging 47 seconds a lap, so about 15 to 17 minutes. This stage will be over. Well, the stage green. And just in case you missed it, just came on board because it had some issues with food I was supposed to eat before doing this stream. It got didn't know. Told me somebody left it out too long, and it got spoiled. So now I had to order some food to make up for it. So hopefully on the map, the way they're doing the laps, it should be towards the end of stage 2 by the time it gets delivered. maybe begin a stage 3. Now, thank God it's just tacos. I am subscribed. Oh, you subscribed. Thank you. If you just subscribed, thank you. Welcome to the channel. I hope you enjoy what you're hearing. Hold on. I'm having a little technical difficulties with the Wi-Fi. That's why I have to turn up the sound. I have to fix that. So if you hear me mute the sound for a minute, I'm just fixing the Wi-Fi so we can keep the connection going. I hope at some point I don't have to reset the TV. That's going to take a couple minutes to get that done. So yeah, we'll have my next episode of Rashima Series to a podcast up later on tonight. It's going to be called Walk the Walk, not just talk the talk. We'll talk about integrity and all this other stuff, like being considerate, being a man or woman to your word and stuff like that. It was based on a sermon that I heard at church today. It was a couple of things we were talking about that, and I was like, that would make a good podcast episode tonight. So pay attention. If I don't upload it tonight, worst comes will be uploaded by midnight tomorrow morning. I'm on the East Coast of America, so if I know it at midnight tomorrow morning on the American time, on the East Coast, that episode will be uploaded so y'all can watch it and enjoy it. And I do ask for y'all leave some comments on the videos, on the episodes. And what I'm going to do, maybe if not this episode, but the next episode, I'm going to have somebody show me through ChatGPT or Gemini AI. They can watch the whole episode of my YouTube podcast, and they're going to give me suggestions how to do better, and give me some suggestions of future topics, so I could do my research and do it. So I think even all through March, I'm going to have ChatGPT give me topics to do on my YouTube channel, because I'm trying to keep the episodes between 5 minutes at the shortest, 20 minutes at max. So hopefully we can get some good episodes for all through March. I know one that may have something to do with spring break, because that's who do you think I'm going to win this year? I'm going to say, because I'm winning the hot number right now, is Chase Elliott. I'm a big Chase Elliott guy, but if Chase Elliott doesn't win, my backup pick is going to be Bubba Wallace in the 23. So one of those two. But a little piece of me for sentimental value would like to see Kyle Busch win, because this is 21st 500 in his 22nd season. It would be his 22nd, but he got injured in 2015 during what used to be the Xfinity race the day before Daytona, and then he couldn't do the 500 the next day. So this is actually his 21st running. He started on the pole. He's led a few laps. So far, the person who's led the most laps is John Hunter Nemechek with 19. Chase Briscoe's in the lead, and they're talking about maybe somebody going the rest of the way on fuel. But we'll get back to the sound of the race.
No matter what they told me to do, to be honest with you.
Ford's line on the inside. Logano and Keselowski. Toyota's line
SVG in third.
In front of Chase Elliott Chevrolet.
Why are you laughing at me, Clint? You're over here laughing at what I just said.
I've been your teammate.
Sometimes you have to make that decision, from the driver's standpoint, in order to keep yourself in contention. In today's world, you have to have cars that'll help you, but you can't just purposely take him out of contention of where he's at right now, in my opinion.
Check on the inside with Christopher Bell and Tyler Reddick. 3 Toyotas trying to pull together down at the bottom of the racetrack.
So yeah, so
have enough cars.
We're almost 15 laps left in the first segment.
Like we do with all 40 cars out there. Here, maybe the 8 car.
Sometimes, Clint, getting up next to that.
There it is. Look back here. See those hands? I think 8. Dillon's going to come with him. He's on board with that. We're coming this time, 8 car. Again, that's the only car that did not stop during the first and only caution period of the race back at lap 5. No mistakes. Do not slide the tires. And Josh Berry's coming with him, and 2 more.
All right, so we got like 4 people pitting right now for fuel. So they may not want stage points, but they may decide, okay, they could either win the stage or they're gonna be up front. They'll be one of the first cars on pit road for the start of the second stage.
So they're going to give up some time one way or the other.
Coleman Digger, Ty Dillon, and Casey Mears with them on pit road.
This is going to be good.
Kevin, not only that, they're not all together. All broke up with that group. You can see it on the bottom of your screen there. Not very efficient with that stop at all.
Yeah, the longer that it takes to get those cars.
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit getting them up to speed. Yeah, and the reason why I'll say the reason why Mines is probably not taken down probably more than others because they're showing the actual race. That's probably one I think is one of the reasons that, in my opinion, Mines is still staying on. Because if you try to show the race, the actual footage, the actual TV footage, you get copyrighted strike really fast with NASCAR. If you have the sound on, it can be. It's a judgment call, but it seems like I'm fixing the internet connection 1 second. So, but that's why mine is still up right now because I'm not showing the actual picture. You can hear the sound, that's legal, but as long as you don't show the actual picture for so long, that's why you get copyright strike. And a lot of that stuff has to be approved by TV channels. There are a couple live streamers who do get enough permission from NASCAR or Fox or some type of media thing that they can get away showing the race. Everybody else can't do that. So that'd be my suggestion for future. If you want to do like these type of streams, is keep, well, especially also doing commercial break too. Don't have the sound on during the commercials, only have it during the race, and then don't show the actual footage. You know what I'm saying? That will probably is the reason why a lot of them are getting taken down. And YouTube, I'm hearing, is getting a lot stricter with that too. Is if they give you too many copyright strikes after a certain amount of time, your channel could be deleted permanently, or it's going to be a little while. So that's something to keep in mind in future, Mr. and Mrs. Sinclair. That's something you might want to think about if you're ever going to do a sports stream. You can have the sound like a lot of my couple people I subscribe to do wrestling ones. You can hear the sound of the actual wrestling event, and it might give you some highlights as it goes, but you can hear the actual event, but they don't show you the picture. Now, some of them have got away with it and shown the actual footage, but it's at discretion, and I use that in air quotes. So there's something to think about if y'all would want to do something similar to this in the future.
Cross-state rivals tip off on Fox College Hoops Friday. Brayton Smith leads.
So I'm glad you're enjoying this, and I'm glad you're watching this. And so we're 10 laps left in the first stage.
In an effort to draw everybody to use so much fuel that they all have to stop again before the end of stage one. We'll see how it plays out. Biggest mover since the restart. Well, Justin Allgaier was involved in that crash back at lap number 5, but he has climbed all the way up to 8th place. Riley Herbst
right now, Chase Briscoe's in the lead, and as of right now, he is officially now should have the most laps led.
You know the 40 car's coming. Let's see who else is coming.
There'll be 9 to go in the stage. And here comes a small group of cars, just 4, led by Joey.
We have 4 crosses went to the pit road. You got Joey Logano, Justin Allgaier, and I think at least one of the Toyotas. I couldn't tell who it was.
Still stay engaged. We've seen some videos. They make up a lot of time there and have enough fuel.
up with Sunoco race fuel with zero carbon bioethanol. And those 4 cars left pit road, not in a.
Oh no!
You got Byron in the wall again, guys. 24, Byron. He's in trouble. He hit it hard. I think it was a pretty good push there. Everything's fine, he's saying.
Yeah, but that's still a hard hit at 190 miles an hour. That could have been a big one too.
He didn't lose much time with everything that took place.
Let's see what happened. Did he get pushed in? Yeah, SVG hit. Yeah, might have been SVG that hit him from behind. And it wasn't on purpose. It was just.
Well, he couldn't really check up because he got a big push too.
Yeah.
SVG is still kind of new to these super speedway racing. I know it's his third year and only second full year in Cup. Man, there's a lot of cars coming in. Almost all the Toyotas are coming.
Chase Elliott leaves the back to his Chase Briscoe brings him on pit road, and there's a spinner coming on.
Oh, that's Jimmy Johnson spun. Oh, don't get stuck.
Cars are half a lap away. He should be able to get it fired. He's rolling and he's rolling.
So easy to do that when you get a little bit of speed extra coming on the pit road and you try to turn the wheel one way or the other, the car will just spin out.
What's driving these little smaller packs is the mix-up you had with the manufacturers. They weren't all together. That forces everybody's hand to pit with somebody maybe that wasn't in the claim. So now Chase Elliott leads Todd.
So Jimmy Johnson will be a lap down, but he'll be the first one, I think, with the free pass. So that kind of worked out for him. Only because he has to pass is Casey Mears. His car is still doing minimum speed, but with all that damage, and he still pretty much has a full car.
Keep an eye on the track map up here. Teammates battling for the lead as Zane Smith goes around the outside of Gilliland. He's got Austin Cindric.
So 38 got a lap. And I'm also part of NASCAR Fantasy League. You see me leaning over, taking notes. I'm trying to write down all the drivers that led at least one lap. So 34 led a lap. Chase Elliott led a lap. Y'all saw that, right? Yeah.
So that will leave 7 of them out on the racetrack that have not pitted, at least.
Man.
Stage points.
Ooh! Wow! I'm surprised that should have been a wreck. What a save! Whoopsies! What a save! That's got to be the save of the race. Him and Lawson, and they get a really good finish or somehow win this race. They will go back to that moment on lap 62. What a save! Yeah. Well, with the chase, yes.
They want these cars to stay side by side. They want them to stay too wide. If they're single file, those guys will have a hard time making up that ground. So the more that these guys stay too wide, the more they'll draw those two groups together.
And there's the second group that you talked about, led by Logano.
Yeah, and they're going to catch them for that reason.
Zane Smith from Huntington Beach, California. Got his team racing at the Las Vegas Bull Ring.
So yeah, like doing the commercial break and doing stage break, you won't hear anything with the pit stops or anything. So we'll take a few minutes to summarize what happened, and then we'll be ready for stage 2. Okay, that's the way we're gonna do it. And it will save my voice a little bit too. Saying I gotta do another stage before my dinner gets here, and on top of that, I gotta do an episode tonight too, so it's gonna be fun today.
They're in the middle of the backstretch. They'll be coming to 2 to go. In stage 1.
So they're gonna pit. They gotta pit now.
Well, we know how tight this fuel window is. There's definitely some reward if you make it to the end of the stage when you talk about those points and everything that goes with it. But man, it just makes my heart beat fast sitting up here right now. The risk that it takes and where it puts you to win the Daytona 500.
But I believe that that's a calculated risk. I really do. Look at all and it's no secret that are all Fords and then a pack of Chevys behind them. You know that was a playbook. Those guys stayed back there, saved enough fuel to try to make it to the end of this thing collectively as a group.
Even Ryan Priest is doing good. So we're almost at the end of stage one. We're about to get to the white flag. Oh, we have a caution now. Now that should be starting stage two, but unless they have caution just before the end of the stage, we don't know yet because this track is a few seconds ahead of the TV coverage. So I don't know what happened.
That's stretching it pretty good there.
Yeah, that second group, you can see they mixing it up still. This lead group right here, they're pretty much single file, but you just never know what's going to happen with this lead group. Do they run out of gas? Do you have anything happen? But right now, they're racing for a stage win.
And those 10 drivers right there will collect the 10 stage points for stage one.
Wow. This must have been the end of stage caution. But they didn't go.
That has fought its way to the front along with his teammate Daniel Suarez in the 7th. Stage one. We'll go to the driver from California, Zane Smith.
Yep.
First career stage win.
Congratulations to Zane Smith. First ever stage win. And we now starting stage two. So now we're going to end the poll right now. And at 8 votes, I say, are you excited for the Daytona 500? 75% yes, 12% no, and then 12, we'll say 13% say maybe. All right, we're going to end the poll right here. Thank you for participating in that poll. Yeah, maybe there's a tie. It was 74-74. So it's pretty much a tie for second. So 8 votes. So thank you guys for voting. So what we're going to do is throughout the stage caution, I'm not really going to put the sound on for that. Just going to wait for green flag and stuff like that. So there's a quick summary what happened during the first stage. Kyle Busch was on the pole. He led the first couple of laps. And then on the end of lap 5 or 6, I'll double check it later when I see the highlights on NASCAR.com tonight. BJ McCrowell had something broke on his car, got it spun, and it was almost in the middle of the pack. Like 7 cars got some type of damage. So it was like a mini big one. Oh, and speaking about that, while we have a moment, I'm going to start a new poll for round 2. Will they have a excuse me. Oh, cool. Oh, okay. I understand. Yes. I'm glad you're on board. Hey, let me know who you think's going to win the Daytona 500, by the way. Hello. He says, I'm bummed about it. I'm disabled on SS. I can't afford much. I found a live feed and watch it start, and they cut the feed off. Yeah. The reason why they cut it off, and it's not your fault, they're showing the actual race on the TV. If they were doing what I'm doing, you can hear the sound of it, but not showing the actual footage. That's why you get copyright strike. Okay, cool. If you haven't already, if you're new to the channel, I hope you will subscribe. Will they have the big one before the end of the race? And just in case you're new to NASCAR, the big one, like I said earlier, means at least 10 or more cars in that wreck. We had 7 with some type of damage. So yeah, we're going to start a new poll, and this poll will be up until I get my food or the end of the second segment. I'm 30% of your viewership. That's 33%. but I know what you meant. Let me go to your channel. Recycle lunch meat. God, that gave me some nightmares. That sounds like mystery meat when I used to go eat at school. Oh, that. All right, but just to let you know, Bob, I just subscribed to your YouTube channel. So lunch meat. Can't even spell lunch right now. That's pitiful. Lunch meat. Just subscribe to your YouTube channel. That's a great question. And well, they have Tubi this year because Tubi has a NASCAR channel. That is I think that's something if you have NASCAR on Twitter, Twitter feed, NASCAR on Facebook. I think they have a LinkedIn page too, or a TikTok or Instagram. You need to start putting out tweets and social posts and saying, "Hey, NASCAR, why don't you live stream it on your YouTube channel? Because not everybody can afford cable. They might be able to afford the internet part, but not the cable." And more people say that, I think that would be a good idea. So if you have other NASCAR YouTubers, we only have a vote. One vote say yes, we're going to have a big one. And in case, again, you don't know the definition of a big one, the big one means there's a big crash with at least 10 or more cars being in a single wreck. And I just asked it, would it be at least we'll have the big one at least, I should say at least one, but at some point we have the big one before the end of the race. And now we have two people saying yes. Two people saying a yes. I think if you look at the statistics since 2015 and now, we had at least one crash with at least 10 cars or more. So, yeah, the probability we're going to have that is very, very high. They're doing pit stops right now. I don't know. I'm not trying to let y'all listen to that during the stage break. So we'll deal with that after the stage break. Just before they go back to green with the one to go with the choose. Okay, so I just, like I said, Munch Me, I subscribe to your channel. Sinclair, if you haven't already know, I did subscribe to your channel. So if you haven't subscribed to mine, like I said, this episode's coming up tonight on Walk the Walk. I'm going to record it tonight. Should be up before the end of the night. Worst case will be up by midnight tomorrow morning Eastern time on President's Day. Oh, yeah, tomorrow's President's Day. So if y'all ain't working tomorrow, y'all enjoy your day off. Yeah, usually it's at the end of the race, but sometimes big ones always have. If you look at the history of the 500, yes, you can say for the last part, usually within the last 100 miles, which is like lap 60 to the end. But there have been times there have been big ones that happen in the middle of the race. There have been I remember in 92, there was one just before the halfway point. After a rain delay, they had a big one, but within a couple laps after the restart, they took out 20. They had almost a 20-car wreck, and at least 10 of them did not come back or severely damaged to the point they can only just barely keep up with minimum speed. So that was in 92. In 93, you could borderline say you could almost say we had two big ones. I know everybody remembers 93 for the Rusty Wallace flip, but people forget there was a 7-8 car crash with Alonso Jr. Daytona kind of started, but it was also a few other cars was involved. And they had a few mini ones in the race too. 94 had a big one, a little after the first quarter of the race. I don't think 95 really had a big one. 96, I believe, had a big one off turn number 4. 97, you can make the argument had two big ones with, Earnhardt flipping upside down there. That had a mini one. And at the end of the race, they had an 11-car crash. 98 didn't really have one. 99 had a big one. 2001 had a big one. 2002 had a big one. 2003 was kind of a mini one. They had 6 cars, but I don't even consider that really a big one. 2004 had a big one. 2005 had a big one. 2006 wasn't really a big one. They say it was a big one on YouTube, but 4 or 5 cars really got damaged. Maybe 1 or 2 of them got minor damage, but I wouldn't count that one. I say 2007 had 2 big ones. One just before the end of the race and one at overtime. I don't know, 2008 really had a big one. So they had a few mini ones, but not a big one. Like 2008, 2009, of course, had the big one. 2011 had the big one. 2012 had one. 2013 had one very early in the race too. The one that Danica Kirkpatrick had the pole. That one was real early in the race. So yeah, and within the first quarter of the race, they had the big one. 2014 had a couple big ones. 2015 had a big one at the end. They had a couple mini ones, but that one at the end with Jeff Gordon had like at least 8, 9 cars involved at the end of that race. I feel bad for Jeff Gordon. He should have had at least a top 10 finish that year. That sucked. I don't think 2016 really had a big one, if I can remember. 2017, that one almost went to the end. There's more people that ran out of fuel than having big. Oh, yeah, the one with Jimmy Johnson had a kind of a big one. Yeah, 2018 had a couple of big crashes. 2019 had that big one towards the end with, I think that's the one Matt Darabell, they called the Burrito. I can't really pronounce his name. He was in the 95 car. That triggered like a 15-20 car wreck. I think 2020 had a big one. You ever remember the Rodney Newman flip? 2021, the big one is at the end of the race. 22, I think the only really decently big crash was the one at the end of the first stage when Harrison Burton flipped upside down. I think all the other ones was almost smaller wrecks. I don't think they really had big number of people involved in the wreck. I had to restart the TV, so it'll be a minute or two before you get it back on. So, but yeah, there's like 23. I think they had a big 24. I think had one at the end of the race. 25, they had two big ones with the Ryan Priest crash, and they had a mini big one at the end at the last lap of last year's race. So, except for maybe I could make the argument 20. Yeah, 23. I don't know. No, they had the big one at the end. So yeah, so pretty much from 2016, except maybe 2017. I don't know. They really had a big one in 2017, but outside that 1 year, from 2015 to so far this year, you could expect a big one almost every single year. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to influence y'all how to do the chat vote, but it was me. I'm voting yes, but I'm going to say it's not going to be if it's going to be a big one. It's just going to be when. So my prediction is going to be, I'm going to put in the chat. The big one will be within the last 20 laps. I say within the last 10% of the race. There will be a big one. Now, how big, I don't know, but I'll be shocked, and I'll be straight up and honest. I will be shocked if we don't have one. We might have maybe a small crash, but I'll be shocked if we don't get at least a 9, 10, 11, 12 car. And like one of the guys, like one of the people saying, it usually happens at the end of the race. Don't be surprised if that's the outcome again this year. We have one towards the end of the race. So pay attention to the last 20 laps. I'm telling you right now.
Honestly, that strategy was.
They just restarted the race. They just restarted when I reset the internet. So right now, Austin Cindric's in the lead. Okay, so I did mention in the beginning of the chat an hour or two ago that Trevor Bayne is the youngest winner at the Daytona 500. So I'm going to do trivia questions during the stage break. But does anybody know who's the oldest driver to ever win the Daytona 500? So right now, I think they say that Jimmy Johnson somehow wins his race. I think he said that he would be the oldest driver to beat this driver by a couple of months. It'll be really close between the guy who's oldest and Jimmy Johnson. It'll be really close who would be the oldest driver to win. So y'all think about that question for a couple minutes. Y'all stew on it, and I'll give you the answer by the next commercial break. So again, the question is, who's the oldest driver to win the Daytona 500? And in case you didn't know who the youngest is, Trevor Bayne. So if Connor Zurich wins today, he'll be the youngest. So we could have a lot of history today. Danny Hamlin could only be one of 3 drivers by the end of this race to have at least 4 or more Daytona 500s. So we could, like I said, if Chase Elliott wins, it'll only be the 4th father and son duel to win a Daytona 500. Hold on. The Pettys, Allisons, Earnhardts. That's 3. We have brothers like the Waltrips and Bushwoods. There'll be another set of brothers.
We all know the story of.
I'm going for everyone who won the Daytona 500.
Victor Lane on the speedways, or not being as good on the speedways as what he was in the old car with the new Gen 7 car. But I can tell you, he has plenty of experience. He has plenty of knowledge to be able to win these races too.
So we should have.
It hasn't worked out, but Denny Hamlin's a veteran. He's very good on these speedways.
All right, Danny Hamlin just took the lead.
Very hard on himself, critiques himself, and as you need to do to be able to make yourself better.
Bubba Wallace is in second. So 23-11 / Joe Gibbs is 1-2-4 with Tyler Reddick.
To Kevin's point, Denny Hamlin in the Gen 6 car has been a lot more productive here at Daytona versus the current car on the right. 3 wins, 7 top 5s, and a lot of laps left. But it's a new day here in Daytona, and it's Denny Hamlin out front as Bubba Wallace tries the bottom, tries to get alongside Bubba. 2-time runner-up in the Daytona 500, won the Brickyard last year.
Denny Hamlin has 60 wins. He's tied with Kevin Harvick for 10. If he wins today, he'll be on outright 10th place on the all-time Cup Series wins list. But if you combine all his total NASCAR wins, I think he's like 4th or 5th of all time. He has plenty of Xfinity wins, and he has a couple truck wins. He is one of the few, I think, is right around the 100 total wins mark in all 3 series. He's not quite there yet. I think he needs like 1 or maybe 2 races this year to ensure he has over 100 total wins in 3 series, and that's only a handful of people can ever say that.
With Bubba Wallace and his Xfinity onboard camera.
And he told me this morning, up in the suite, that he'd be driving around one-handed at 185, running about 48 seconds, just kind of loafing along. That doesn't look like.
I think they say Bubba did. Yeah, Bubba led a lap. So
and used to practice laps and qualifying laps. When a lot of times it catches you off guard when you get into this race, just how much more of a handful it really is, because the pace is picked up, the sun is out, and the wind is blowing.
So yeah, we're only 22 laps away from being halfway.
And he told me one of the greatest things about any race day at all is you come back to the hall, to the bus, and there's your son, and suddenly whatever happened.
I forgot, yeah, Bubba Wallace is now a dad. His biggest son's like I'm 1 year old.
Pretty awesome. The Wallace is expecting their second child this March.
Oh, his wife is pregnant again. Congratulations. He said he's gonna have a next kid by Easter. So that's yeah, I gotta turn off the sound during the commercial. So here's my suggestions if you're gonna do sports streams in the future. Number 1, make sure you're doing how I'm doing it today. You can hear this, you can hear the race, you can hear the sound of the race, have your little commentary here and there. Oh yeah, by the way, the answer to the question is Bobby Allison is the oldest driver to ever win the Daytona 500 at 50 years old. Jimmy Johnson is 50. I just don't know how many months into his 50th birthday. All right, so number 2 suggestion is make sure you have good sound, make sure you have good Wi-Fi connection. Number 3, give people enough notice that you're doing this on your social media. Now, today was kind of last minute, but especially your main social media, the one you use the most. So say you use Facebook the most. So you use Instagram, TikTok. Let people know at least a couple days in advance. If you have a thing on your channel, do a community post. Hey, I'm going to do a live stream doing this. or I'm going to do just a channel live stream. I'm going to do a sporting event. I know someone's saying next week, in 2 weeks, they're going to do the Elimination Chamber. They're going to try to do that as their first ever live stream. So, again, keep the sound on, but don't show the pictures. That's where you get the most trouble, unless you only got permission from like WWE, ESPN, or if it's Netflix International, depending on what part of the world you're in. Remember, those are the things that will keep you from getting copyright strike from doing these type of streams. And you know, especially with certain sporting events like NASCAR, you're talking about 4.5, 5 hours. You're going to use a lot of your voice. Now, take some breaks, take some silence. There might be some awkward silence just for a minute or two, but you just resting the voice for a minute, like this. And then you speak again. You don't have to keep constantly talking for the 2-3 hours. You need to have a little voice. Yeah, you got to have a moment. You got to have a little excitement, like, oh, like that. But again, those are the things. Have good energy. And do it. And I would suggest if you're going to do a sport that you have knowledge in. Not say you have to race it but have enough knowledge of years of watching so you can at least sound competent of what you're talking about. Those are my best advice if you ever want to do a live stream for sports and not get copyright strike. But anyway, now Ross Chastain.
The car's racing for the lead in the Daytona 500. 16 laps later, he has put the whip to it and forged his way all the way to the front. You know this car right here in the front, Ross Chastain, he ain't scared to do that block as he can.
Well, and you saw Cody Ware drive all the way to the front of the pack with Kyle Larson pushing him. And I think you were able to recognize that they were able to get all the way to the front. And Justin Allgaier and Ross Chastain said, heck with this, let's go to the front right now while we have an opportunity.
Now, Ware was in a Ford last year. They have switched to Chevrolet this season. So that's 3 Chevys up at the front with Bubba Wallace's Toyota.
Yeah, a lot of people are switching from Ford to Chevy. So
let's listen on. That's Brandon McReynolds, spotter for car number 1, Ross Chastain. Carrying the bush light cam today. This is where that spotter is vitally important.
Well, this is the first time all week we've seen Ross Chastain up in the front. Down underneath him is Justin Allgaier. Obviously, that's a Junior Motorsports car, Dale and Kelly Earnhardt's car on the racetrack right there. Running their one race. Well, what could be the only one race that they run this year with the 40 car, but both of those cars, the 40 car chose to really be cautious in our qualifying races. Now you see that car up in the front of the pack. But
yeah, Justin Allgaier for JR Motorsports right now is a one-off, but he keeps running like this. I wouldn't be surprised if Junior is going to do at least more of the drafting tracks this year, like Atlanta and Talladega. Especially Justin Allgaier. He's a great drafting track driver, even the Xfinity Series. You don't win an Xfinity title and win races at Daytona and Talladega in your career if you don't know what you're doing.
The team told me earlier today this was part of their strategy. Crew Chief Greg Ives said last year we didn't feel like we were aggressive enough early in the race to really learn the car the way that we wanted to. This was what they wanted to do this year. It's worked out for them to get themselves out there and understand a little bit more about it. Keep in mind also they were involved in that early race first caution. The damage now to concern just a little bit tight right now.
Now right behind him at 88 is Connor Zilisch, probably the most heralded rookie to come to NASCAR Cup Series since Jeff
Gordon. Yeah. A lot of people say he's the best rookie, or at least most talented rookie since Jeff Gordon. Oh, we got a crash. Oh, yeah, there goes the big one. I told you this coming. This might be the big one. 10.
Second caution of the day.
This might,
not including the caution at the end of stage 1.
Oh, he's stuck in the grass. Oh, yeah, I forgot there's been a little rain over the weekend in Daytona. So grass has been a little wet. Uh-oh, this could be the...
Away after getting sideswiped. There's some splitter damage on Zilich's car.
Yeah, you see them putting the air in the side of that car to raise the suspension.
It's the issue to get started up in turn 3.
I was right, guys. It starts right here with Carter Zilich. You watch him.
Connor still has got a lot of talent. This dude is going to win a race or two this year. Most likely will be on a low course, but he will win one.
Moving around, car got swirly, got a little bit loose up off the corner. They touch again.
That's
history. Watch Austin Dillon. Boom! Big shot into Briscoe down low.
Oh, the 34 and 67. Ah, damn it. Two other underdog rides just got, they had nowhere to go.
I can't tell if Connor was coming up the racetrack to side draft or Justin was going down, but regardless, it stacked them up, and Ross Chastain got into the right front of Cody Ware. And when you hit the right front of these cars, it just immediately hangs a left.
Wow.
Austin Dillon with nowhere to go.
A lot of damage on that 3 car. A lot of movement with Zilich. That's the first time. Second time, you see him starting to move around, trying to avoid.
Ooh.
Boy, and if you're Johnny Morris, when you have your cars, what are the odds of your cars running into each other like that?
You can see it from here.
From Chase Briscoe.
Oh, shit, no! Oh, I feel bad for him. That sucked. Boo. So we have a second mini big one already. And at least 5 cars or more. I'm going to say between 5 to 10 is a mini one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At least 7. So that's a mini big one. We haven't had the big one yet. But we have 2 mini ones. So I wonder, it's just like the storm could be coming in later on today, where weather could be coming towards the end of the first stage. Is somebody showing where they can watch the Daytona 500 live. Okay, thank you for that. But I'm just doing the live stream without showing the picture, so there will be no copyright strike. ESPN 8. I'm gonna see. Well, since when ESPN does, they haven't done NASCAR, but they will have the Super Bowl next year. So I don't know if y'all know that. So yeah, next year on February 14th, 1 year from yesterday, the Super Bowl will be on ESPN and ABC. It'll be a combined effort. It's the first time ever it'll be on a cable channel that's not ABC, Fox, CBS, or NBC in 61 Super Bowl. So keep that in mind when you get closer to next year. Pay attention when you get your, especially if you're going to do it by streaming, pay attention to your streaming options at that point. So yeah, just keep that in mind. So yeah, we're 2 hours into the stream. So thank you. I drift. So thank you for putting that in the chat. Thank you for the 2 votes so far. Will there be a big one? Yes. So both of them say yes. I say yes within the last 20. We almost just had the big one now. So yeah, if this weather is gonna be wacky, they said that weather. Actually, you know what? It's still okay. I'm checking something on my end. So while we're doing that, weather in Daytona. Let's say Daytona Beach. All right, so they're saying as of right now, precipitation could be coming later on today, and the highest probably after 6 to 7 p.m. But right now, the pace we're going, the race will be over before the rain comes in. But if there's any long enough delays or red flags, Bless you. Thank you. Weather could come into play. So keep that in mind as we get closer to the end of this race, especially when we get closer to the 5 o'clock hour. Weather can play a very big part of how this race could end. Sorry, I'm dealing with allergies, so don't mind me. You hear me sniffing once in a blue moon. I'm just dealing with allergies. So again, please forgive me for that. And in about 15 minutes, I gotta get off. No, not logging off. I gotta go away for a minute or two because I gotta make a phone call to the people. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do that now because it's gonna be a couple minutes before this caution break is gonna be over with. And we're not gonna have to sign on during the pit stop. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's almost a big one. We had a 9-car crash. All right, so if y'all excuse me for a couple minutes, I'll be back. I gotta make a quick phone call because I'm gonna be getting ready to order. Well, I already ordered, but then we're about to start prepping my food in a couple minutes, and I need to make sure everything's ready to go. Be right back. All right, I'm sorry I'm back. I had to take care of something real fast because my food will be here scheduled within the next 30 minutes. So again, just give you guys a heads up because they had issues with my food. Someone was supposed to send me food today for me to enjoy before the 500 started, before I did the live stream. But someone didn't tell him to put it somewhere so it doesn't get spoiled or stinked. And by the time I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. So I had to follow that. So I had to order some food today from Uber Eats so to make up for what I was supposed to eat today. So soon my food gets here or within a minute to being here, I'm gonna end the live stream temporarily, but I will let you guys know as soon as I finish eating. So probably some point during stage 3, as long as the weather still holds up by then, I will give you guys a chance to I'll let you know it'll be a part 2, and then we can just pick up where we left off, and then we'll go from there. Okay. If you see a little bit of a different thumbnail picture, you might see something with Chase Elliott. If you see that one, that's my live stream. Or Bill Elliott is one of his old Bill Elliott cars. But either way, that's me, and then we'll just pick up where we left off, and then finish up the rest of the race, and we'll have a couple minutes to talk about the post race, and that will end the day. So, but until then, my food won't be here for 25 minutes, so that'll be almost towards the end of the second stage. But until then, I'm gonna put the sound back on, and we'll tell you about the lights out, the pace car that we're about to have a restart. Ross Chastain in the lead, Kyle Larson second, Hamlin third, Busch fourth, Cindric fifth, Wallace sixth. My driver Elliott is in 12th. Now here's a restart. And we're almost halfway done as far as laps. I like these new graphics this year. Fox has done a good job with the graphics.
Given by now, usually in this race, I've kind of figured out what line that I want to be in and try to dictate, my group or the scenario in that direction. If you got a line figured out that you want to be in, yet higher or low?
Well, I think a lot of it just depends on the handling and the characteristics of your car. I think if you're tight, you're going to want to run center up the racetrack just to give yourself some more distance and not have to worry about somebody up on the outside of you and sliding that front end into the car. So it really depends on how the handling of your car is affecting how you have to drive it as to where you want to run.
Try this third lane. Here we go.
Now you see that middle lane right there. Fill that hole really quick, but this is going to be an aggressive 38 laps. There's going to be some guys that want to race all the way to the end of the stage, and some guys are just going to want to protect their cars at the back.
Impressive pushing from the 11 Denny Hamlin. He was on his bumper off the corner all the way down the straightaway. Cars fast, ladies and gentlemen. Very good at pushing. That is hard to do. Usually those things come attached. When you bump them, they'll drive off from you. Not the case with him.
Yeah, and the key to being a good pusher like Denny Hamlin just did that last lap is just control.
Yeah, so we are close to about 5 to 6 laps away, being halfway at the Daytona 500. And just let you know who's winning, Ross Chastain in the one, Busch Light car in the lead. And we have 3 cars now officially out of the race. Out of the 41, we're down to 38 cars left on the track. I think all but one of those 38 are on the lead lap. I think. I can't really tell because time and scores will tad off on NASCAR, but I believe everybody except for one car is on the lead lap. So whoever the one car to lap down, if there's another caution or towards the end of the stage, they will get the lap back. The lucky dog. Wow.
He's going to have moves coming on both sides. Those lanes are going to start coming.
That was a good first block.
Dead last in this race, ladies and gentlemen, pushing that inside lane. In the backup car, number 17.
Yeah, when those cars are 3 wide like that, it takes a lot for the inside or outside lane to be able to break away. But you see right now, that 38 car up on the top right there, he's been consistently up front since that strategy flipped his way.
Closing in on halfway in the Daytona 500.
We have Walmy
from Alva, Florida, out front of his Chevrolet.
We're only 3 to 4 laps away from halfway. All right, we're having a little technical difficulty, so we're trying to get as close to where the actual so we had 98. So we're all but caught up. And now Austin Cindric's in the lead.
Flight. Head for the mountains.
We'll come back later.
The Sonic $6 All-American Smasher Meal tops the burger food chain.
Oh yeah, we're not supposed to have the commercials on. I just want to make sure the sound was still working. My apologies. All right, so looks like, ooh, that was close. All right, well, just got a notification that my food is getting prepared. So that should be within the next 20 minutes. It should be here, hopefully. So we may not get to the end of this day. It'll be close, and they'll have no cautions. So again, just give you guys a heads up. Well, my food's like 1 to 2 minutes away from being delivered. It should be like, it says 4:15 as of right now. I did tell them the instructions for the food, so it might take an extra minute or two. But either way, I'm going to eat my food. I'm going to eat my dinner. So give me like 20 to 30 minutes. So you're saying 4:15. So let's just say 4:45, 4:50. I will come back. I will finish the stream wherever that point of the race is at. And then we will hope we have a winner. And hoping they'll finish this race before 6 o'clock, before the weather might start coming into play. Right now, he still got about 2 hours before weather could be an issue. So, and probably within a couple minutes before the end of the stage, I'm going to end the poll talking about would it be a big one. So we had a 9-car crash. We almost had the big one in stage 2. So I said earlier in the chat, it's going to be within the last 20 laps. Okay, so looking forward to it. 33. Oh, okay, so Lawrence Chastain right halfway. Okay, so we'll get 5 for that. So congratulations on that. Baptist Sound. I'm sorry.
I'm on board with you.
Well, we talked about a lot of guys that sat out practice yesterday, and we sat up in this booth and talked about the conditions.
If y'all let me know in the chat, you can hear the sound of the race. Please let me know. We're gonna have a little sound issues here and there.
We know Kyle Busch wasn't out there, Kyle Larson wasn't out there, but I gotta believe that the longer these runs go, like we saw in the first run, the more you're gonna see those handling issues and need to make some adjustments, because right now the cloud cover has come in,
which I would think would make that handling better, right? You would think the track could be cooler, have a little bit more grip, but I agree with you. Since we've been in this Gen 7 car coming to Daytona, we've been covering this, Mike. I have never seen these cars this light on their feet. I think that's a good thing for the fans watching this thing. These guys are on the edge.
Well, here's one we didn't expect. We all know Shane Van Gisbergen, the New Zealander, is NASCAR's current best road racer. But did we expect him to be leading the Daytona 500 on a super speedway? Here he is.
Well, we've seen him up front at Talladega on occasion. We saw some top 10s out of his car at the end of the year on ovals. And I think that we have seen steady improvement from Shane. I think the big question was, where was the speed in the cars in qualifying? And were they knocking some speed out of the cars to make the cars handle good? And now we've got that answer. The speed looks okay, and the handling must be right along with that.
Now, last year he was number 88. He's carrying his dad's number 97, a number he used in Australia and New Zealand to win 80 championship races. So happy to have that good luck charm back on the side of his car.
And for me, being a fan of NASCAR, I wanted to see this out of him. Yeah, we knew he was dominant on the road courses, but I wanted to see him prove his value behind the wheel of that thing on these super speedways, intermediates, and short tracks. And so far, a lot better.
The one thing I will say about Shane is his racing IQ super high. He's a studier. He understands what he wants in the race car. He understands
also
the race car, and he wants to learn. He's got a great teammate in Ross Chastain.
Yeah, so remember, now we're officially halfway done the race, plus the minimum one extra lap. So anything happens with weather the rest of the way, NASCAR has the right to call this race from here on in. We believe they'll have enough of a window to get it all in, but you never know.
Not necessarily happy with the handling of that car. A little bit light on his feet since kind of squirrely in traffic, but man, he's holding pretty wheelie, keeping that thing up front. Track position is key.
Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch leading the two lines around Daytona for Stabler. Up on the pit box with Dale Earnhardt Jr. today. 104 of 200 laps complete.
Yeah, so Kyle Busch got back the lead. So this has been one of the more competitive. And I was just gonna say the way the track is racing today. If you go back and watch some of the old NASCAR races, especially like not like mid-90s when they went to the Gen 4 format, almost all the Gen 4 races and probably the first year or two of the Gen 5, which is the car tomorrow, there was a lot of years. You have to have a good handling car. It's good to have a quick car too, but the handling was more important here. Like Talladega traditionally is a tad more smooth of a track than Daytona, so it's more raw horsepower. You can still have good handling, but you really need some horsepower. But Daytona, you need a good balance of speed, but at the same time, you need a car who can handle. And so now we're up to 25 after. So we might be able to finish. It's projected 25 after. All right. So now we call, hoping they take care of it. If they don't, it's going to be thumbs down from here on in. All right, so we're waiting for the commercial to get done so we can put the sound back on, side by side. I don't know if you'll know, but Arby's is going to be on JR Motorsports, Junior Motorsports, as far as at least the Xfinity Series. So, yeah, Justin Allgai's going to have some races with it. I think another driver's going to have a race or two on. I can't remember which car. So, and the 9 car, when they do the All-Star car, I think one of the races will have Arby's as well. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun year. I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, again, this is easily the longest film thing I've ever done on YouTube since I restarted my channel about 2.5 years ago, nearly 2.5 years ago now. So, thank you for putting up with me for over 2.5 hours today. So maybe live streams might be something I might have to start doing more of in the future. All right, back to sound.
Here in Daytona, 92 laps to go, and they come to the line. Kyle Busch, also for the 500, fastest qualifier here Wednesday night. 21st try to win the Great American Race, and he's in command.
He wants it. Told us in the pre-race. This is his shot. Fast hot rod they brought him. It's time to shine. 21 years.
And he's got a great pusher right behind him with Ryan Blaney, keeping him up at the front of the pack. Obviously, it takes a fast race car to put yourself up there, but
Kyle Busch is in the lead. 22 laps up in stage 2. Again, to give everybody a heads up, as soon as the stage is over, or my food gets delivered to my house, whatever comes first, I'll be ending the stream temporary. I'm going to take a little bit to eat. And then when I come back, there will be a second one. I don't want to leave it like mute it for a minute and not do anything. I don't think that's right for y'all. So there'll be a second live stream for the Daytona 500, and then it'll be towards the end of the race. We'll have a couple minutes of post race, and I will have to sign up for the winner's interview, whoever the driver is. So, and then after that, that will be it for the. Then that will pretty much end the live stream, the part 2 of the live stream, and then I'll figure out which sport event will be the next one. Maybe it'll be for the championship game for the NCAA tournament for the men, but that's right after Easter, right now. But that's subject to change.
Well, we know how important this year is to RCR, Kyle Busch, to get things started off on the right foot. We know that they haven't been to victory lane a couple times, and we know that Kyle Busch is capable of being a winning race car driver. And they got to concentrate on getting their cars back where they need to be. Well, they've got the thing off on the right foot, but now he's on this list to the right. He wants his name taken off of the list of active champions without Daytona 500.
Look how many of them on that list are right up front. We said it in the pre-race. Kevin, that's one thing we did agree on. I think it's a champion that's going to win this race today. Might be one of those 3 right there.
Kyle Busch clearly is tired of answering the question, is it if or is it when for winning the 500?
There is nothing worse. When are you going to win a race? When are you going to win the Daytona 500? And he's kept his cool pretty good this week. Even on the set this morning during the pre-race show, he was still pretty together, wouldn't you say, Clint?
Yeah, I agree with that. But I mean, it takes me right back to the 2 behind him, Blaney.
I'll say this in an eerie, similar way. It reminds me when Earnhardt won his 500. There were some years he was actually answering the question, but he had good cars. This is the best car, at least since the Gen 7 era, that Kyle Busch has had. And he's been up front most of the race, pole sitter. Now, Earnhardt didn't win it from the pole. I think he was like 3rd or 4th. So he was within the first 2 rows. And I think he did lead the most laps the year he won the 500. I'm not saying you have to lead the most laps. It does help. But you just got to make sure you're up front for the most important one, the final lap. It could be like 200. It could be overtime. But you just got to make sure you're up front. No matter when that checker flag hits, you up front first.
He wants his 500. Doesn't have it. And he hasn't even had a top 5 here. That is just hard to believe. That's mind-blowing. Out of the driver's caliber, like the 5 car, and that Kyle.
Yeah, that's an eerie fact. He's never had a top 5 at Daytona, at least. I think he probably got one at Talladega. So I think that streak could end today. I think he will have a top 5. And hopefully my goal next year is to be at the Daytona 500 live in person. So that's a 2027 goal. And the reason why that's a big goal, because it'll give away my age a little bit, but I don't care at this point. Next year will be the 30th anniversary when I graduate high school. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I'm old. So, not that old, but I'm old enough. So that is something that I would like to do next year. I would like to do a Daytona 500. In fact, after one of it, I will let you really quick, and I'll probably do in my second quarter update. Some of the people I went to high school with, especially the people I graduated or right close to the graduation time, we're going to try to plan to do a 30th reunion. I want to originally do it the weekend, the final weekend in June, which is 30 years to the weekend we graduated high school. But we have to move that back to later on in the summer. That's fine. We might do it like a week or two before, like towards the end of the summer, just before Labor Day. We'll probably be like maybe like 2 weeks before Labor Day. But I don't want to do it the same weekend as I'm in Toastmasters. I don't want to do the same weekend as Toastmasters. So I might have to do the week before Toastmasters convention, assuming it's in America, or I have to do the week after, which I'll be coming dangerously close to, like the week before Labor Day. That means you have to ask off 2 weeks in advance. So we may decide to do the first weekend of August. Now you say, well, wait a minute, ain't August, especially up north, some of the hottest part of the year? Yeah, but all the activities will be at night, like later on at night. So it'll be like 7, 8 o'clock, so it won't be as hot. In the summertime, especially down in Florida, the hottest part of the day is between 12 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. In New York, the hottest part of the day is more like 1 to 4. So if we do our activity at 7 p.m. that night, it's an hour or two after the hottest part of the day. So you won't be as sweaty and you won't be like icky. And I think almost everything will be indoors anyway that weekend. So it'll be like 3 days worth of activities. We'll have a meet and greet on Friday. We'll have our reunion Friday night or Saturday night. And then we'll have like a special, like either like a picnic or something, or a brunch, a buffet brunch on noon to 1 o'clock on Sunday, and then everybody goes back that same night. So we won't be surprised if all of us are going to be flying out in similar airports. We'll be saying goodbye to each other at that point and go from there. So that's partly the idea. I'm going to talk to my friend about it. If we have to move it back like 6-7 weeks from the original date, we'll be like 5 weeks. Yeah, 5 weeks from the original time I was going to do it. That will give us a little more time to plan it. I think 15 months will be enough time, in my opinion, but we'll see. Oh, tonight's the 800th episode on Fox for The Simpsons. Can you imagine 800 episodes? That's crazy. I should have had a donut. Wow.
Let's get this show moving a little more forward, a little faster.
Yeah, and when they want to get this show moving, the only way to do that is to be more aggressive and see Ryan Blaney shoot that 8 car out and kind of leaves that 11 car, Denny Hamlin, behind, and they chose to go to the top lane.
This will be a good preview how the end of the race goes now. The way they're racing now, I think it's going to be a preview of what you're going to see the last 12 laps of the race. Not just 12 laps to go on the stage. When we get to like 188, 189, the way they're doing it now with a more aggressive bump drafting, trying to speed everything up. Yeah, they're going to have to chase this year, so everybody's trying to go for as many points as they can. So Zane Smith got the first stage win of the year.
Yeah, SVG's doing a great job. I don't think we've been able to cover his super speedway racing much, but he's doing a great job right there behind Kyle Larson.
I just feel like that outside line has the momentum. It seems like the inside line kind of has that slinky effect and loses momentum and the ability to move forward,
especially this late in the run, as the cars start to handle a little bit worse.
You see Busch go down there and he'll slow that lane down, but he wants to be right up there in that outside and stay in line.
5 Chevys, 3 Fords, 2 Toyotas in the top 10 right now.
So Jimmy Johnson right now will get the lucky dog when we will get the next caution or we get the end of the stage. So with 10 to go. Yeah, you want to get as many points as you get, especially if you got at least one stage point on the first one. It will still minimize the damage, so nobody can sweep the points today. So it won't be too bad of a damage, but you still a little bit of a hole. And I'm telling you, after the first 2 races of drafting tracks, you put yourself at least almost 1 full race behind them. Actually, get 76. You're at least 76 behind. You got to make up 1 race in 24, which you can, but you have to eat like maybe 4 or 5 here, 10 here. You got to make sure that you're no more than 30 to 40 points behind the leader after the first 2 races. It'll make it a lot easier to, as long as you're in the top 16. He said slinky. Everybody loves a slinky. Don't quote me. Don't tell nobody did that, okay?
They're pretty close right there this time, but they're all the way. Denny Hamlin's all the way beside Kyle Busch. It's time through turns 3 and 4.
All right, so he's
back through that bottom lane. Okay, he's going to move to do the same thing. I want some of that. Whoa, really close on the inside with Blaney. But if you look, that inside line got a lot more formed all the way throughout. Fixed all those gaps. You see that? Now all of a sudden they're able to. And what's the car on the inside who's fought his way back up into the group again?
Oops, we had a little technical difficulties. Give me a second. Bubba Wallace is back up there. That is amazing. But also John Hunter Nemechek. He's been near the front almost the whole, especially towards the end of the last stage. We'll have to fix the. That's why I'm glad I'm doing Sling for the 1 month. So I'm doing mine on Sling TV. But yeah, next month, no, it'll be another either streaming service. I hope by then Spectrum, lowers their prices a little bit for the TV, and we'll be able to get enough channels to justify me having Spectrum. Oh, we have a big one. Yeah, we just have a caution. Ooh.
Shane Van Gisbergen's car stopped. Not sure how much damage there. Alex Bowman's in 2 years ago. Heavy front end damage there. I think that's Gilliland trailing a lot of smoke. Austin Cindric was in it. Not even half the field involved here.
Yeah, we had the big one. We knew it was going to be not if. It's just going to be a win.
See how he's pulling it out there all by himself? Those huge cars.
Justin Allgaier is in the lead.
He's dead in the water. Leaves a half a lane open and tries a little bit lazy with that block up. Did he try to squeeze in there? It didn't work.
Wow.
Cars tore up. It is what it is. See William Byron getting hit again around the outside. Logano's in there. Big hit with Bowman.
Gilliland's 34 got hit at least 3 different times.
You see right there, I mean, once Hamlin gets in that position and goes for it on the outside, now he's got them all stacked up behind him, and he's pushing. But 40 is a little bit slow with that block. That's all it takes. Happens that fast.
There's the Hunt brothers on board from Joey Logano.
Man, someone blew a tire trying to stop. That's crazy. Yeah, we just had the big one with 5 laps to go before the stage. 124, 125 laps overall in the race. I did say we're going to have the big one, but it's a little bit earlier than I thought it was going to be. And that's the second time in my 7-8 years we had a big one right by the trioval. I do remember in 2013, just right off the trioval, they had a big one. And in 2012, what Jimmy Johnson spun was just right off the trioval too. So we had 3 big ones off the trioval over the last 15 years. And we had a mini one at the end of 2024's Daytona 500. So somehow this trioval lately is becoming a little more borderline calamity quarter. Yeah, but that's one of the hard. It is one. A lot of people say you can make the argument it's the fastest part of the track. 17 cars they're saying got involved. Now, they're saying 18. And someone else got a piece of it at the very end. So 18 out of the 38 cars left. Almost half the rest of the field got some type of damage. And now Bubba Wallace is in the lead. with 5 to go on the stage. Whew. Wow, this has really changed the complexion of this race. I will say that much. It's taking them so long to get the food. Oh, I see what they're doing. Yes, they are making sure my order is correct. So they're making sure there's no blah 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 blah. There's no onions because I'm allergic to onions. I don't do well with sour cream. For some reason, it hurts my stomach. I don't know. I don't know why. I can eat. Have you guys noticed that? Like before, when you can eat certain foods, it don't upset your stomach as much. But when you get older, for some weird reason, you can't eat it like you normally could in the past. I don't know if you mentioned in the comments that happened to you. Like, oh, you liked a certain food when you was younger, but as you got older, it's like, no. Like with me with coleslaw, I used to love coleslaw, but after like my teenage or early 20s, little by little, I don't have the taste for it like I used to. I don't know. Is that weird? Is that really weird for me to say that? Has anybody else gone through that? Does anybody else have something similar? You like a certain food, now you don't eat it no more. I used to like watermelon. Like after my teenager, I don't really do watermelon like that anymore. But now it's where like the last 2 times, I never really like collard greens. I never really tried collard greens. But 2 times in the last few months, I eat collard greens. I actually kind of like it. I still love spinach more than collard greens, but I will at least start trying to eat collard greens a little bit more often. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of weird as you get older, you like certain foods, and then you don't like certain foods as you get older. I don't know if anybody's had that issues. Say that. Let me know in the comments, in the chat, if that has happened to you. You had a favorite food, but all of a sudden now it's not your favorite food no more. As you got older, no, I like this. I understand it's a normal thing, but it's just amazing. That's one of many things I love about God. He will make us so different in so many different ways, and it's amazing. All right, we're getting a card count. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Like on my number order. Oh, Justin Bill. Oh, no. 12, 14, 16, 18. Now they're saying 20 cards got some type of damage. So it's over half the rest of the field. So, yes, we have Fishery had the big one. We have a Fishery had the big one. And I feel bad for Dale Jr. because that card should at least be a top 10.
Well, I thought it said outside, but you said it. I was trying to tell you, it's like, come off the throttle and stay connected better, and then you got so far out there, and then, you were still spotting up, you get outside.
They're trying to say that I think there was not necessarily really a miscommunication with him and the spotter. I think it was just a late move. I think by the time he realized he had to go up and block him.
He's getting a good run, and they were just talking about the 40 getting too far out, but Justin just comes up the racetrack, and that's really what starts this wreck.
Too little, too late.
Yeah.
The first victim there, number 34 Ford, a couple of cars scoot through, but most everybody else is caught up in this. Yeah, this right here is why we pull back on the racetrack for Chase Briscoe, trying to get points. You never know who else is going to fall out of this thing. All right, we will roll under caution to the end of stage number 2. Bubba Wallace will be the second stage winner. Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch, John Hunter Nemechek.
All right, so we just got official word. I don't know if you heard it on the TV. That Bubba Wallace has officially won stage 2. They're just going to let it go to the end and not try to restart it.
I thought it was just a fatty liver.
As of right now, that is subject to change by NASCAR. But as of right now, so Bubba Wallace has won stage 2, 10 big points.
Studies are ongoing to confirm benefit.
especially for the regular season title.
It helps reduce MASH and liver scarring.
He does well in these.
Tell your doctor about liver or gallbladder problems, or if you're pregnant, breastfeeding, or plan to be. Serious side effects include liver injury.
So it looks like Kyle Busch may have the most laps led so far. Oh shoot, I'm not supposed to have the commercials on. I'm sorry. Let's John Hunter Neal checking out. He just got caught in the crash. Where's he at? Because he had some laps too. I might have missed somebody who had laps earlier, so I'm gonna have to go back and double check my list because I also do in the NASCAR Fantasy League. So let's John Hunter Neal check. 42. 26. So no, it's Kyle Busch who's had the most laps. I don't know what's going on with food.
Right towards the front of the field. If not, from the very front.
Oh, there's one stop on the way. Okay.
This is definitely not a new problem. We've seen it this weekend. That one's been Tyler Reddick out. So it is definitely a product of what has always been here with the old car, more so with this new car. But you see right here again, tight hole right there for Denny Hamlin. But I think Justin Allgaier heard the spotter and the crew chief talking about telling him outside, and just a little late on getting up there and leaving too much space. And I think some of that is just not racing this car all the time. Different style of racing, different pace of everything is happening as we run up on Kyle Larson.
All right, so we're one lap away from ending stage 2. So here's what I'm going to do because it was on the caution. I'm going to end the stream in a couple minutes. My food's going to be in 10, so I don't want you to sit here and then I got to start the first. No, because by the time they do all this cleanup and stuff, it's still going to be a few minutes. So my food's actually a few minutes behind schedule. So it actually worked out perfect because we got the first 2 stages. I'm going to end the stream at the moment. Actually, I'm going to end the chat too while we at it. So 83% of y'all said there will be the big one before the end of the race. Yes, and it just happened. So you guys who said that, congratulations. You guys were right. So we were one lap away from ending stage 2. So I'm going to end the stream in a moment. So I just want to say quickly, thank you as always. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May everything you do the ability to the best of your ability with love and respect. Love and appreciate y'all so much for coming on here. We'll have a part 2 after I finish eating my dinner. So probably we'll say about 5 p.m. I will be back for the last maybe 50 laps-ish of the final stage of the Daytona 500. And then we'll have a couple minutes to discuss what happened at the race, and then we'll go from there. So thank you for being on with me almost 3 hours today. So I actually like doing this. So we might either do the Indy 500 or the Coke 600. Coke 600 is like $5. So we might just do the Indy 500. I won't do the NASCAR version. I'll do the IndyCar version. So that will be at the end of May. Like I said, we'll probably do something like between mid-March and early April for a sporting event. And then we'll probably do something, at least one or two things in the summer besides the World Cup finals, and other things will be coming this summer. So we'll be doing some more sports content this year. I'm looking forward to it. And I've got some new software should be coming in the next few months. So again, there'll be more sports content on the channel. So keep your eye on that. And then God bless you all. God bless your families. God bless Israel. God bless the world. Hope you all had a great Valentine's Day weekend. Thank you for coming on. And thank you for some of the chat. And like I said, I'll be back by 5 o'clock-ish for part 2 of the Daytona 500 live stream. But until then, actually, hold on. Let me just make sure this last lap is official as far as make sure Bubba Wallace did official. Yeah, green and white checkered. Bubba Wallace won stage 2. So now I'm going to end the stream now. I'll be back around 5:05, and we'll do the end of the race, maybe the last 40 to 50 laps of the Daytona 500, and including how many overtimes it takes. And we'll see. Hopefully we'll get this race in before the weather interferes. Okay, take care. God bless. See you in a little bit. Bye.